In the year 2020, there's never been a better time to turn a great idea into a reality. And there's never been a better platform than Squarespace. Squarespace makes it easier than ever to launch your passion project, whether you're showcasing your work or selling products of any kind. With beautiful templates and the ability to customize just about anything, you can easily make a beautiful website all by yourself. And if you do get stuck, Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support is there to help. Head to squarespace.com/bombcast for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code BOMBCAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
It's time to go and do this podcast.
Let's go! Podcast time!
You usually reserve the yelling for the after show.
That's
He's always yelling.
I've got separate plans for the after show.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh my god!
More yelling.
New year,
Double yelling.
double yelling.
That's right. It's the Giant Bombcast for the year 2020.
Hell yeah, it is.
It's the only one we're going to do.
Our vision is clear.
That's right.
We're done.
It's
We're getting out of the
2020.
business.
It's the 7th. It's January 7th.
It's just
Here.
gonna be what's 3 times 365?
I can't.
9, 10,
12,
12.
9 plus a couple more hundreds.
and then there's okay, what's 36?
it's like
times
1,200 hours long.
3? Okay. Sure.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
We're just gonna. It's up to you to listen to it 3 hours at a time.
Yeah,
over the
you
next-
you meter it out.
Yeah.
We're just going to record it all right here and there, right here and now.
Everybody's got a few extra hours during the day to just listen to podcasts, right?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
No, the
Wait,
people,
it's a leap year,
maybe
right?
You've got a commute. Is it a leap year? No,
It's
not
a leap year.
Is it a leap
It's a
year?
leap
Totally
year.
leap year. I have to celebrate my anniversary now.
Oh,
This decade has more leap years than the last, so this decade's a day longer than the last decade. Really makes you
Really,
think.
really.
yeah. Wow.
like
That's really, it really does. I'm just like
That's a real lot.
over here. Like I don't even have, I don't have a good response. Like normally
You're
I'm just
I
like,
thought
yes,
this
let's
decade
keep
was gonna be
talking.
the
And it's just
same.
like,
What the heck?
knocked me out of my coal mining ass here in the first 3 minutes of this podcast. First 3 minutes of this decade. Or not decade. I don't know.
Sure.
It's not really the start. Idiot. Who cares?
You got it. It's
the
called,
answer, the
it's
actual
called the
answer.
20s.
Yes, the actual answer is who cares. The actual answer is you're right, but also who cares?
I like that. We're gonna. Go
It's a
with
new
that.
decade.
It's a new decade, and we're here.
That's right. We are.
Hell yeah.
Back from a holiday break. Hopefully, everyone out there got something resembling some kind of holiday break, whether it was the Christmas or the New Year's or the Hanukkah, whatever you got going on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you got some time
Boxing
to just
Day.
like sit in a dark room and go, fuck, man.
Glad this year is over.
Yeah, and get and put it back together in time to be here now with us right now.
In the here and now.
In the here and now. I'm Jeff Gersman. Brad Shoemaker is out.
On assignment.
He did the smart thing of like take vacation weeks on either side of a break to extend the break out.
Yeah.
And
Go, Brad.
that's just smart thinking. That's efficiency minded vacationing, and
He had
I approve. Literally, no, I had to go in and approve.
yeah, dude.
I had to check a box
yes.
and
He
say,
was showing me he had a decade's worth of sick time
that
built
sounds
up.
about right.
So he's like, I'm just gonna take it all in one go.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to that. Like we came in with when they bought the company, all of us had our vacation and other like sick time like completely maxed out at a rate that was higher than this company's highest, and they were like, well, I guess we have to honor that. And so it
was like literally like scratched out in pen as you slid the contract
Right.
over the table, and it's like, well, 10 hours earned for every 1 hour. That seems wrong, but
I
who
guess
are
that's
we
how,
to-
yeah. But then, so it was like once you got below that cap, the new cap would kick in. But I think I'm still above the old cap.
No
And
cap?
No, there's some cap. little bit of cap.
A little bit of cap.
A little bit of
Little
cap.
bit of cap.
Small cap.
And thank you for tuning in to our HR and business related podcast where we
is
talk
fun.
about all sorts of goings on in the world of
Yeah.
vacation caps and
There will be a
sick time.
test at the end.
Yes, there
You
will
need an 8 out of
absolutely,
10
if you-
to pass.
That's right. Spend some more time reading this page to further absorb the information before you click continue.
Here to
No,
learn
you
more.
can't click. You cannot click through the training. You must learn
The
about
best,
this
the best
harassment.
way to do it is you do video
Uh-huh.
with audio turned off,
Oh, really?
and that way you can just like watch them and then do their they'll do their big over exaggerated like HR like I'm falling in the unsafe
I have fallen at
workplace."
work.
I've been sexually harassed.
It's the exact same reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch and listen to everything, and I have the certificates and diplomas to prove it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I, in some cases, attempted to capture and or download some of the videos because they are so poorly made. I was like, I'm going to need this someday.
The CSI
because
looking one.
Boy, oh boy.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Some of the training videos are hilarious.
I love when they have like very obviously mismatched like construction orange vest guys in a very like in an office break room, and you're like, well,
Yeah.
I guess like technically there are like the foreman probably
Sure.
has an office, but like most of the time they do not look like they belong. Or like the best ones are the like you see them a lot in the sexual harassment ones, but it'll be like after at the bar,
Yeah.
and it's
Oh,
like
sure.
it just looks like just some guy's bedroom that they like have
Right.
a wooden table
Yeah,
in.
they put something that sort of resembles a table that might be at a bar there.
Background noise of like a guy going. I like the drink.
and, clink, clink, clink. You hear a couple of it's just someone off camera clinking a couple glasses together occasionally. Just knock this can over. Okay. Yeah. I've not gotten mine done yet, and they're months past due. But we're here recording the show right now.
Yeah, we can't. We got to do the
Yeah.
show.
Gotta do the show.
Such a
All-
tight
all-
schedule.
I know all 1,200 hours of this show
Yeah.
have to be recorded.
Maybe we'll do it on air. Is that
I thought about
Live
that. They
stream.
probably wouldn't like that. No, I was like, I don't know that. I don't know if people would be into us
I'm
live
going for a
streaming the
speed
harassment training. But
AGDQ.
Everybody can learn something.
that's that's honestly
bettering the world.
It's a good. It is a good. It's good.
It's good.
It's a good reminder. Even if a lot of the stuff they're training you about is like, this just seems like common sense. I guess that's the thing, is if
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like common sense, you're the person that really needs the fucking
Yes.
training. They're like, hey, fucking don't be a fuck up. Don't be a piece of shit. Like, that should be like slide
hard.
one of the
It's so
training.
hard.
Try not to be a piece of shit at work or anywhere
Yeah.
if you can help it.
I can't.
And if you can't help it, talk to your HR business partner.
Yeah,
all right?
just
So
try some
maybe we won't do ours, but do you think there's a repository of those
wonder.
somewhere,
Oh, there's
like
gotta be.
archive.com or org
yeah.
or whatever, of HR training courses?
Well, I mean, there's tons of like YouTube videos online of like employee training.
yeah,
not
employee, like,
but
necessarily.
we, but we
videos.
still have to do it so we can pass.
I
Yeah.
know,
I remember there being a KFC one.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sure.
say
Yeah.
there's some really good.
The Wendy's. The way they
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Wendy's one is a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one with a really sweet carving station tutorial. That's high quality stuff. What's going on? CES is going on, which barely
just started, right?
intersects with anything we do anymore.
Oh man,
Yeah, now that they don't do them next to the
It used to
porn
be-
awards
right,
anymore.
exactly.
it used to be pretty big.
Yeah, the
they used to-
AVN
porn
one
awards?
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
porn
yeah.
awards. But no, like as far as like video game announcements, as it were.
Right.
Yeah,
Even
CES
after
was
E3,
a lot bigger.
yeah, even after E3 existed, there was still some stuff at CES.
Right.
And I do still get occasionally just like, hey, are you coming to CES? Like, no, I have not been to CES in 15 years or more at
And
this point.
Yeah, given what they've announced thus far, it's
Oh God, yeah. Like I have written on like even the one thing that like resembled a news story got walked back.
Really?
So it was just like I was like, oh, that's fascinating. Oh
Yeah.
no, that's just a dumb mistake.
Well, what's the trend? Because years ago it was smart
Televisions.
appliances.
Privacy
And then it was
actually apparently,
crypto.
yeah, apparently privacy is the
Now it's
trend.
privacy.
Is like that there's a lot of products being devoted to like, hey, maintain privacy.
Hey, we don't
or, hey, we
record
care
and
about this
monitor
stuff.
everything you do,
Right, but we actually do.
but we
But it's
actually
just us.
do.
It's not other people. It's just us. It's cool. It's between you and me. Me being this public company. No, yeah. So that's there are new televisions. NVIDIA got out there, and with I believe it was LG. LG is announcing some
Looks
new
good.
OLED screens that have G-Sync in them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they've done it before, but
Yeah,
now
they
they've
have,
got
yeah.
like 12 or 15 new models or something.
right, yeah, and some of those are 8K TVs,
Yeah.
which is a stupid number. What is that even? Like, who's the fuck is that?
Xbox is going to support it.
Yeah, but like
but-
not real. I mean,
Right, I know.
not really.
Like the menus will be 8K.
Well, yeah, there'll be like some FMV game that'll be
Sure.
an 8K game. You're like, oh, this is Quantum Break 2, really looking nice.
Yeah, that's where Remedy's gonna go after this. After Control is
Oh
on
man,
Break 2.
God damn it, God damn it, no.
And then I think ROG's out there with like 360 hertz
Yeah.
gaming monitors.
Which that I'm all for.
Sure.
Fuck that.
Sure.
Sure.
Let's go for it.
As a user of a 165 hertz monitor, I got to tell you, if you can give me more hertz, I'll take it.
All right. I'm still sticking with my 60.
60 is fine, but
Yeah.
what about
60 is
more
cost efficient.
than that?
I know. I keep looking at monitors and yeah, I'm close to pulling the trigger, but it's man, yeah, the cost to like quality is I don't know. Like I would have to upgrade my TV. I'd have to maybe upgrade like my processor and stuff.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
it's an investment.
Well, yeah, I mean it's like that stuff is, until these new consoles hit, and we'll see where they end up falling
Right.
on that stuff, right? But even getting a solid frame rate 4K out of a PC is
Mhm.
not a cheap endeavor.
Right.
Still,
Right.
that's still a hassle. Like when I got my 4K TV, I was like, I'm gonna hook my computer up to this.
Sure.
Why the fuck wouldn't I? It's
Yeah.
right here. And then I hooked it up, and I was like, yeah, Doom looks good. It runs like shit.
Right.
At this resolution though, so why bother? So at that point I just disconnected it all and I was like, forget it.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, like most console games don't run in real actual proper 4K, or if they do, it's 30 frames a second. And usually I'm going like, maybe I'll run in the performance mode so I can get a shitty 45 to 50. So yeah, I don't know. Technology marches on, right? Razer's got some very kind of plug and play PC thing that they're showing.
Oh, yeah?
It's a it's a NUC. It's like the Intel NUC stuff
Okay.
of just like, hey,
What's
here's
the
like
luck?
next unit of computing, I believe is what it stands for. And the basic idea is this is a device that has kind of two PCIe slots. One of those goes to a graphics card. The other one goes to a computer, which is basically like, hey, here's a CPU and a bunch of other parts of a computer, and you're plugging it into this thing and going like, yep, here it is.
Okay.
The idea being like, here's like it's almost a consoleized experience
kinda like a
where it's like,
set-top box.
here's
Sure.
here's a smaller form factor that is still a powerful device with a good solid processor in it, and you can put your own graphics card in it, so you can go get the expensive graphics
Okay.
card to
That seems
put in
cool.
there and stuff. Yeah, which that's
Kind of
potentially
bridging
like
the
a
gap.
cool,
Like
yeah,
low,
exactly.
low hassle,
Yeah, low hassle, but higher return than maybe if you were just buying an off the shelf PC for way too much money, like
Or
it's
console.
maybe or higher return than a console. Which I guess like as these new consoles just get closer and closer to that stuff, like like at some point maybe that stuff does just converge. Like maybe there's a PlayStation 6 somewhere with a PCI slot or some slot on it where you're just like, fuck it,
Oh man.
plug in the better
Oh,
card
man.
and
I wonder
go.
what the logo is going
PS6.
to look like.
You stole my joke.
Damn it.
Yeah, so that's the big CES news is Sony showed the logo to the PlayStation 5.
Holy shit, they got the Spider-Man font.
Yeah.
They got it. Oh wow. They really went all out.
Yeah, they had Jim Ryan out on stage at their keynote, and he just talked a little bit about, here's what we've announced so far. Here's the logo. We'll be back later. Peace.
Wow.
Like, basically had a
Wow.
slide
They had
about
stage time
here's
for
stuff we
this.
talked about before.
Huh.
So not really reacting at all to Microsoft just saying, fuck it, here's the console.
Right.
They were
Fuck
content.
it. Here's the logo.
Fuck it, yeah, literally, fuck it. Here's the logo.
Did Microsoft show a logo? I guess there's a thing
I mean,
on
it's
the
all-
box.
it's kind of the same
Yeah.
font and same
Okay.
treatment that they've had going, I think.
So like the Sony one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
They're
yeah.
both.
I mean,
the
the
brand is
the
strong.
Nintendo logo hasn't changed
Sure.
Sure. I
much,
guess.
There's
if
a
at all.
Is there a Switch logo? I guess it's like
Yeah, it's
got
the controller thing
the
with the
Joy-Cons on.
Yeah.
them.
the controller thing.
It's more they have more of a sound than a logo.
Yeah.
They have that like the snap is more identifiable.
But as the Switch Lite gets further and further,
that's true.
the snap is like
snapping.
less and less relevant.
The only snap is you accidentally snapping that thing in half.
That's right.
It's tiny.
Kind of.
It's fine.
It's fine. Anyway, what did you do over the break? I'll tell you what I did. Well, here's one of the things I did, and then we'll get into it. I bought Ring Fit Adventure and didn't open it.
Oh,
yeah.
Same actually.
It's like buying a gym membership.
Exactly. Yeah, I had to go to
It was too crowded in your.
It kind of is. Yes, actually, the real answer is. The TV where the Switch is currently hooked up is in my office, which doesn't have a lot of open floor space. Because after having the baby, sometimes I will take the baby in the middle of the night and roll her into that room and sleep in there. So there's just a straight up sleeping bag in that room. And so not a lot of room for VR stuff or any kind of Ring Fit.
You need quite a bit of space. We did a stream here, and even in the studio, I was having a little trouble getting like a full range of motion. In my house, I can't stand and go extend my arms all the way up because I'll hit the roof, so I'll need to like sit down.
Well, you need to raise the roof.
Yeah.
I think is probably what you need to do.
I would love to be able to raise the roof. If I had one superpower, it'd be raising the roof or doorways. I mean, is that included in the roof?
Yeah, I think. Well, no.
If it's not, then I'll just choose doorways as a whole over the roof.
That's your weakness.
Yeah.
It's the doorways actually.
I feel like you're going to run into situations where the roof is the problem, and you can't raise a doorway higher than a roof. You'd need to raise the roof.
So one time when I was looking for a place to live, I found a place right on, if you're familiar with San Francisco, like right on 19th and Taraval. So a pretty, prime location. Like that's a pretty good spot.
A lot of buses
like,
there, right?
Buses there, a lot of buses.
Gas stations.
Kind of close to the college, which is where I was going to at the time. And so I'm like, okay, great. Yeah, this looks great from the outside. And then I walked in, and literally there was no place in the building I could stand up straight in.
Geez.
The roof was like probably, I would say 6'5".
Wow.
And the poor real estate agent was just like obviously knew that I was like not right for this, but she was still going through all the motions of like, and you can see this is we just redesigned the bathroom, and I'm sitting there just like, with my head like at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah. Well, I do sit down a lot. God, that's a nightmare. So
Ring Fit Adventure.
Ring Fit.
I want to play Ring Fit Adventure and have not yet. And
I hit day 30.
Woo!
That's in-game days of playing it.
What do you get for that?
They said, "Hey,
fucking buff.
Good job." Yeah, great job, great work. It's about like the game is very good at positive reinforcement. So just a lot of that.
Good.
Like you're doing great, buddy. It's about persistence. And don't worry if you miss a day. Like just come back tomorrow.
All right. Very nice.
Jan, have you cracked into it at all?
I have yet to crack into it. It was one of those things where we bought it before the break and then hadn't opened it completely.
Yep.
So
yeah, like I was at a Walmart.
I bought it around Thanksgiving, and I still have it.
Nice.
Shit.
I bought it last week, so
yeah.
So I've yet to, but I will undoubtedly go.
Yeah.
Probably a month or something at this rate.
I hit the max difficulty.
Nice.
I've been like, every time I play, I bump it up 1 or 2 levels, and I finally got to max. But the problem is the exercises I have unlocked at this point are like a lot harder than the easier ones, so I actually have to go bump it back down quite a bit. Because it's like, it'll start you off with some pretty easy stuff, just like do a squat, do a little like jog in place. But now I'm doing like Warrior 3 yoga pose and shit, and I'm just like, I cannot do 44 reps of this. I'm sorry.
That seems like a lot of reps.
Yeah, it's too many reps.
That's a lot of reps. Yeah, I bought that. I was at a Walmart, and so we're looking for a specific type of chime toy.
okay,
because we only have one of them.
Yeah.
The kid likes it a lot.
Oh, and
Chime is a brand?
No, it's not the brand. It's, yeah. And yeah, we were looking, we're like, we should get some backups. Also, it's like a bear, and there's also one that's like an elephant or whatever.
Okay.
And so we're like, well, we should find more of these and start looking around. And I've came to realize relatively like, this thing is on the verge of, or has just been, or was discontinued.
Oh, no.
So like stock is hard to find in a lot of, there was like one at a Walmart that was like 45-minute drive. So last week we're like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's just go get these
It's worth
things.
it.
Get there. The baby section, devastated. Empty shelves, just fucking destroyed.
Desolate.
Was this before or after Christmas?
After.
Okay.
Just a wasteland. None of those things. They said they had
Use
6.
diapers everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, they said they had 6 of them. They had 0.
Oh shit.
So while standing there, I was like, well, fuck it. Their website says they have 6 here. I'm just going to order them for pickup.
Yep.
And then see what happens. And then they were like, we're out of stock and all this. And now
You watch a guy come out, like stand next
so
to
literally
you.
I was like looking around, like looking to see if anyone was going to go walk. Cause I'm like, I would love to pick these up while I'm here, but it ain't Best Buy. Like Best Buy is like, hey, we'll have shit ready in an hour generally.
Generally.
My wife went and talked to the person. She had a name tag on that implied that she was in customer service, but no. To the opposite of customer service.
Customer disservice.
Was basically like, well, why'd you do that over and over again? Well, it says here we're out of stock. It's like, yeah, that's because we ordered all of them. A lot of really awesome exchanges there that left with us getting nothing. And then I got an email 3 days later saying, we canceled your order. We can't find that shit.
We've been looking for 3 days.
We're like, hey, we ordered more to show up and we can't. So we canceled your order for 4 of the 6 things you bought.
Oh.
And then yesterday I got a text saying, come pick up your order.
Wow.
Tight.
And now I'm like, do I want to fucking drive all the way out to this fucking hellhole again?
You get it now because you're gonna need it.
No, I
later.
know. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's just like, well, look, it's, I can't find these things anywhere else. So
Yeah.
I guess I have to do this.
That thing's gonna go missing at some point,
yeah,
and the
and
baby's
it'll
gonna
be-
start crying,
yes.
and
Yes, so-
anxiety through the roof, man.
Yes. At the end of the day, I guess that's
Do yourself a favor.
the actual answer is I'm driving back out to that hellhole. So yeah, a lot of my
I
break was
understand, I
a
understand.
lot of my break was just spent hanging out, being a family man. I got my garage my garage door torn off and a new door put on.
Okay.
Um,
Was
Anything
that an
special with
accident?
new garage door?
it's a roll up door,
Okay.
or not
Oh,
a
yeah.
roll, but it slides up and in, so it's way quieter. It means you could park right up against the door because it's not going to open out.
Yeah.
And it lets a little light in.
Oh.
Oh, also, it's Wi-Fi enabled.
Oh, good.
So
So
I
it can
can
get hacked.
Yeah, exactly. So people could hack my door. So I could open my door from here, from my phone.
I'm sure that
if
would
I
never
wanted
like
to.
Sounds handy.
terrify your wife. Just,
Yeah.
like
Just all day
happens to be
long.
in the garage,
Well, so and this hasn't happened since I got married. But I used to drive away from my house, and this happen. I don't know. This would happen once every 6 months or something like that. I'd drive away from the house and be some distance away. Sometimes I'd be like right around the corner. Sometimes I would be halfway to work, which is 30 miles. It's not. I can't turn around.
Right.
And I go like, I'd have no memory of closing the garage door whatsoever. None. And I can't be certain that it's not just open right now. And that's bad because someone could just walk into my house at that point.
True.
And so it's like, okay, who do I know that's like around? And I would usually text a friend and be like, hey, can you just fucking drive by the house and make sure that I'm not a fucking... I never once left it open, but it just...
Something
It's that
was
same like,
nagging
oh,
you.
Yeah.
did I turn the oven
Exactly.
off?
Yeah. It's just like I'm just like so fucking checked out, just like driving to work. Like,
Autopilot,
exactly.
morning
Yeah,
ritual.
totally.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and there's just no memory in my brain of that door closing. So I'm just like, well, I gotta check. Now I can check. I can look at my
That's
phone
true.
and over Wi-Fi it'll tell me, yeah, it's closed, dumbass.
But the hacker has already
keep an
opened
eye-
it, just and
exactly.
sending the signal that it's closed.
I
to
could
your-
could actually get a notification every time the door opens or closes, but that seems like a fucking nightmare. I don't know. The whole thing seems like a nightmare. But that aside, it means that I can start to try to organize my garage. Like I've got so many games. I've got too many games. I started thinking, should I get rid of some of these games? And then I was like, oh, hell no.
I should buy more.
Yeah. No.
You bought Ring Fit.
I bought Ring Fit.
That's a bigger game than normal too.
I know. Yeah. I bought Ring Fit. I haven't even played it. God damn it. God damn it. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time just kind of hanging out with this baby. doing stuff.
They're fun.
Yeah, super fun. She likes to look at stuff and grab things, and she's rolling over now and all this other stuff.
You're teaching her tricks. That's good.
Yeah.
It's good to teach them early.
That's like on the checklist. It's like it sounds like it's something a dog would do and you'd get excited about. But like when the baby rolls over and then can roll back over, you're like, oh, cool.
You're better than a turtle.
Rad. Yeah. Well, it's like one of those things that's like, oh, okay, you're now less likely to fucking die.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. That's a big moment.
Yeah. Like it's
big
You could worry like 1% less.
Yeah. Right. Well, no. No.
No, because I'm sure that opens up a million more things of like, what if she rolls under this thing?
Exactly.
And like,
She's gonna roll into the oven.
Or yeah.
She's rolling into the garage door and it's
No!
the Wi-Fi is out.
So if you open and close the door via Wi-Fi, because it can't guarantee you're there, it actually takes about 10 seconds and just makes loud beeping noises before the door moves.
Oh, good.
So like, yeah.
Get out of the way.
Exactly.
Get out of the. But babies love
Babies
beeping.
love beeping. They love that shit. Yeah, so it feels like she's just like on the verge of like starting to move forward a little bit more regularly and get to crawling and all that sort of stuff. And it's
Then you get to find out what kind of kid you got. If you got like a scooter, sometimes they just get to scoot their butt.
Yeah.
Some crawl, and then some just like get up and fucking walk.
Right. I've heard that there are some babies that just skip crawling and are just like, no, this whole like you got to learn to crawl before. Nah, fuck that.
No, I'm just gonna.
I'm
walk.
out. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, man. I don't know. Yeah, we took her to a family Christmas thing that was after her bedtime.
Oh, jeez.
And it was like this big thing of just like, man, this seems like it might be a super bad idea. And then when we got her back home, she just lost it.
Oh, really?
For like multiple, like an hour plus of just like screaming. I was like, yeah.
At least it was when you got
maybe
home.
maybe this was a bad move. Anyway, that stuff's awesome. And I spent some time, playing some games here and there.
Anything stand out?
No, not really. I just, I wasn't really looking to spend a ton of time playing stuff. We played some GTFO yesterday.
Yeah, that was fun.
And that's kind of cool. It's not exactly my type of game, but it seems really well done.
It's stressful. And it really reinforces that, like the team aspect.
Yeah.
Like you need a team.
And you need to be like talking, you need to be like communicating. That's what kind of blew me away.
Well, yeah, like having Alex on the other side, like being able to like see through doors or whatever and stuff, and having him say like, "There's two here." I'm like, okay,
it's like this is a game that couldn't have existed before Discord, or like wouldn't really be like, because like the idea of hopping in with randos seems unappealing, and like sure you could do.
I mean, it's not even an option right now.
We're right. Yeah, there's no matchmaking other than like friend matchmaking.
Yeah.
But like the existence of Discord makes the idea of this selling this game a lot easier.
I'm talking about a game called Fire Team.
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed about the game is like the way the levels are structured is it kind of looks like a mine shaft or something with like a route very clearly. Like here's the surface and here's A1 and A2 and B1 and B2
kind of forks out.
Like the levels kind of go down and then you look at that and you're like that kind of looks like a roadmap. Like that kind of looks like a thing that they could very easily just keep adding numbers below. It's like this is kind of where we are in games now. Is like you go in knowing that
they're gonna keep updating it for sure. Yeah. That's got.
And this isn't early access, right?
It is. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
they're gonna add regular matchmaking and all that.
I played a lot of old stuff, but mostly if we're talking about games that came out within the last year, I played a fair amount of Call of Duty over the break.
Oh, nice.
They had some double XP moments.
Oh, damn!
Around
Did you have
the holidays.
to buy any due or anything? Or?
No,
I saw
you
just hustling for some codes.
Yeah, I was trying to line up for codes. Didn't happen. Hasn't happened yet. The way they handle double XP codes in that game is actually like nefarious and kind of evil.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? So you can buy chips and drinks and get codes that way. You also earn some on the battle pass, where it'll be like, okay, here's 1 hour of double XP, and you can pop that at any time you want. You choose when to activate it. But as soon as you activate it, it starts ticking down in real time.
Right. It's
whether
not an
you're
hour
in a
of
match
game
or
time.
not. It's not an hour of game time at all. Or even close to that because of how long the matchmaking takes and stuff like that. Like even sometimes you get out of a game and it does not, and it will occasionally do this. It didn't do it at all at launch, and now it does occasionally. I'm not sure what the parameters are that cause that, but basically it dumps you back to the start of the matchmaking process. You don't stay in a lobby with the same players and roll on to the next match. It just pulls everybody out, goes through the whole process again. And all the while, you can watch this thing ticking down.
Ugh.
And you're like, this is a terrible experience.
Yeah.
Like, this is like...
I hate
I
timers.
feel like I'm being ripped off as I'm staring at this. It's like it's surprising that they went that route with it, because it really does stand out as like, man, this feels bad. Like, it would have been better to be like, this code will get you 3 matches of double XP.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, just say it'll count for X number of complete matches. Or just have the timer tick down when you're in game, and that feels more fair, instead of like being at the mercy of like, oh, this match was gonna start and then 3 people dropped out, so now it's back to looking for 3 more players, and now
just missed,
like
lost
exactly.
30 seconds
Well,
of time,
it's like you might lose like 2 to 3 minutes.
Jesus.
If it depletes
or
in the
more,
middle of a match, is it like that moment, or do you finish out the match?
I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure if it runs out mid-match what actually happens.
Yeah, because it seems like it'd be weird to start calculating them at different rates,
Right. Well, it literally, you're getting XP per kills. You're
Yeah.
seeing the numbers pop up on screen. So, like, they could do it that way, but there's an end-of-match bonus that you'll get for whatever.
Performance.
That'll play into it. And, yeah, sometimes that can be a little weird. Or maybe it's not even an end-of-match bonus anymore. Maybe they don't do that. But they have in the past. Anyway, it feels bad, that stuff. They should really change that, because it feels like you're being robbed as you're watching these timers tick down. That game's still very good. They added so they added fucking, and the playlist isn't there anymore.
Fucking? Sorry.
They added fucking to Call of Duty. It's the
Finally.
ultimate finishing move.
Okay.
Double XP for
triple XP
Ooh, damn.
for that. They added shipment, which we talked about a while back, but it is a Call of Duty 4 map from the original Modern Warfare.
That's right.
That is a very tiny map with some shipping containers, and like tiny, like you can throw a grenade from, if you're looking, you can throw a grenade from one end to the other, like one corner to the other.
How many people for that?
It's 6 on 6, which is the same as all the other modes, I think. And so in that environment, in that play space, it is just fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, you were spawning with 3 guys shooting at you already, or vice versa. Or you're just like, I got to a point where I was just like, I'm going to hold down the trigger as soon as I spawn, because odds are I'm going to want to just shoot somebody. And you're playing these objective matches, like we're trying to capture and hold a point, but like everyone spawns, you can see the point on the map, and you're just like, well, everyone spawns and throws a grenade at that point. So everything's just blowing up all the time. And it's ridiculous. So I'm just like, well, I'm going to pull out my rocket launcher and then just shoot that across the map and just get a bunch of rocket launcher kills, because I'm trying to unlock these camos and do all this other. And so they just had a playlist that was just that map and another small map called Shoot House. That's a really pretty good map too. Not as small as Shipment, but a tight map. And so I played a lot of matches, and they were running this double XP thing as well. So it was like, between the rate of XP accrual on this nonsense ass small map and the double XP, you could really grind it out there for a little bit. But it was actually it was a fun departure from what the game is normally, to just be like, this is garbage. Like, this isn't like long-term fun, but for right now, this hour here that I've got to play, it was really fun to just launch into that map and just, it was just have it be real stupid. Real stupid, of just people just massacring each other just nonstop. Like, you wouldn't last more than 3 seconds most of your spawns. Maybe you get away and you're hiding, and it's like a couple of spots where you can kind of get away and switch to a rocket launcher and do. I just want to live long enough to slowly raise this rocket launcher up and fire it, and hopefully kill 3 people with it, because that'd be dumb. It was just great fun, but also they've turned off the playlist. It's the right thing to do. There are people that are probably just like, you need to turn that back on. Like, no, asshole, like, stop just grinding out levels and play the goddamn game. But it was for a little holiday break thing. It was a fun departure from what that game normally is.
There's going to be more people online than normal.
Yeah,
so
probably.
Like,
let's
have some fun.
Yeah. So that was a real good time. It was real dumb, but but a lot of fun. How about you, Ben? You play anything? You do anything?
I mean, boy, what did I play? I played a lot of Shovel Knight. I've been playing through the 4.
Word from the chat is that the shipment playlist is back.
Hey,
Excellent.
they heard.
I gotta go.
They heard and they've delivered. I've been playing through the 4 treasure trove campaigns of Shovel Knight, and they're all really good. Like I am kind of blown away by how they managed to complete or give out for free, basically at this point, 3 additional variants of Shovel Knight that are just as long as the core game, just as interesting, each with their own plot. Like they have cutscenes and everything.
Yeah.
They do like if you played a lot of Shovel Knight, you'll remember like the flashbacks where you were like catching Shield Knight as she falls between levels and stuff. They have stuff like that. They're just really cool. It's a super good value. I think Spectre Knight is my favorite because he's got like he can ride his scythe like a skateboard, and you can do tricks
like
and
Uncle
grind
Death
and stuff. Yeah.
All right.
So I've been playing through those. I don't know. Didn't play a ton of stuff. Caught up on a lot of movies. I did a lot of traveling, so I listened to some audiobooks. Got food poisoning on Christmas.
Yeah.
And,
what gave it to you?
Right.
I think a corned beef.
It didn't come from a can, did it?
No, it came. I like slow cooked it.
There you go.
Oh man, you gave it to yourself.
I gave it to myself, I think. So that was shitting at the in-laws 8 times in one day is always a fun classic holiday experience that we all love to do every year.
That's like a B
Missing
plot in a
songs about
movie.
Like one of the 4 Christmases that
exactly.
Vince Vaughn went to.
Yeah.
I kept it pretty chill. I played a bunch of Apex. And I don't know if you've been following the uproar over the last couple months regarding not ranked matchmaking, skill-based matchmaking.
I know it's been something people have been complaining about with Call of Duty.
With Call of Duty, yeah. And originally I was kind of like, that's ridiculous, you kind of need some sort of system. Like after playing so much Dota, which has it in both ranked and unranked, it's like, yeah, it makes sense. Put similarly skilled players in similarly skilled games, and there you go.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like it makes sense in my head of why it should work, but I legitimately am like finding myself having way fewer enjoyable games. I am having way more games where I get dropped
people,
instantly.
Right? I mean, that's right.
It is, but like even, I'm having way less games where I get like 2 kills. It's like games where I'm either like I've lost enough and now I'm in the like really, really bad player queue and can get 5 or 6 kills, or I don't stand a chance at all. And it's just like, it feels like it's a good idea in practice, but maybe something on the back end just isn't there right with their formula. I don't know. Maybe it's something that's just inherent to the battle royale genre of like, it's already chaotic enough that trying to regiment it actually breaks it a little bit. I don't know. I don't know enough about like.
Well, maybe it depends on your mindset also. Like if you're playing it fairly casually, but you're playing it fairly casually really often, you're probably going to accidentally get good, or better at least, to the point where you get into like that higher tier of skill where you're like, oh, now I'm actually having less fun because all of these people might be playing it way more seriously.
Yes,
that's kind of the situation. I mean, if you think it's not skill-based matchmaking that does it, it's just attrition through time. But I feel like that's what happens in a lot of fighting games, right? It's like,
totally. Yeah.
You've got that like Halo period, that kind of launch window of like, oh, everyone's buying the game and everyone's new at it, or you've got a lot of people that are just playing it for the first time and are just like, hey, I'm having fun with this thing. And then all those people go away, and the only people left searching for a match are some roughneck motherfuckers that are going to do you real dirty. And so you get to, and some games start that way, right? Like Dead or Alive was a good example of like the only people looking for online Dead or Alive matches are people that are fucking very dedicated to that shit and are gonna rip me apart at Dead or Alive. Like, that's impressive. You could do that. I don't want to like sit here and serve myself up to you over and over again.
Right.
It was fun to watch once, but like I think I'm done.
but something like a Dragon Ball Fighters attracts a wide enough audience that I'm able to hop in there and like have a fairly good time against the majority of
if you got a higher player
until
count,
I like hit a certain rank. Or
I wonder. I mean, Apex being free gives it kind of a leg up to where anyone can try it at any time.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that maybe is indicative of like, hey, maybe Apex is not attracting new players at a great rate, so maybe the only people playing it are good.
Yes. And so I don't know. Like I don't have a solution. I don't know what they need to do if they need to
people
do
have
anything.
patents. Like if you had a solution to that, like you could probably make a good amount of money on it.
So I'm
like,
gonna go figure that out while you do the Call of Duty map thing here after the break.
Great. Okay.
And Jason can handle the solo podcast.
Terrific.
You got it. Yeah.
And then I played through the first dozen or so hunts of Monster Hunter World.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
All right.
'Cause I know Jason, you've been playing.
Yeah,
Monster
I'm
Hunter.
back on that tip for sure. I got code for Iceborne on PC, so I've been playing that. Holy
Switching to
shit.
PC made me love that game a lot more.
Load times,
Yes.
frame rate,
Yes.
resolution.
Yes.
It's so much better.
Even
on that
friend
platform.
stuff is a little more manageable. Like,
sure.
because I was playing it with like 3 or 4 other people who have never played before, and so I had to be the one trying to figure out how like expeditions and stuff worked again.
Okay.
But then like Steam having Steam there and being able to like invite to party directly is a lot easier.
Yeah. So how far did you get?
Near Gigante.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
Nergi?
Nergi, and I like oscillated between a few new weapons. I wanted to learn something new.
Really?
I'm a twin dagger guy now.
That's how I spent most of
Ooh.
my time.
Are you
Yeah.
using
with the
the
game.
defender stuff?
Yeah,
Good.
and then that's something new they added.
Yep.
Do you know when they added that?
That was actually around Iceborne time on consoles.
Okay.
It was, I think when they gave it to you people who pre-ordered
Exactly.
Iceborne, right?
Oh,
It was
something
like,
like
hey,
that.
get this armor and finish up
And
all the
use it
shit so you're
now.
ready for Iceborne.
Yep.
And dear God, does it help?
Oh my God,
It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Monster. It goes from monsters being able to like 1 or 2 hit you to like they're doing 10% of your health.
Yeah.
On a big attack.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart. Like I think the best
like
way to
I
do it
looked
is
at
like
the numbers, and it's like it's like a third more powerful than like some of the best armor at that level.
right.
And even the weapons as well, the defender weapons.
They were
Yes,
defender
they're
weapons.
defender weapons, and it's just like one tree, and it's very low barrier to upgrade those. And the twin daggers in particular look fucking awesome when they're fully upgraded because they're little chainsaws.
Oh, wow.
They're awesome.
That's fun.
They're so cool. But I cannot state how good that set is.
Oh
It-
yeah.
like to the point where you're going to be using it throughout the entire first part of the game, until you get to Iceborne, even a little ways into Iceborne.
I mean, that's kind of what it's there for, right? It's like, hey, you pre-ordered Iceborne. We want you to experience that content. So
Totally.
here's some cheat armor and cheat weapons to
And
get you there.
It's
right?
more appealing
yeah.
too, so you can be like, you can tell your friend, like, hey, they added this thing
Yeah.
where you can get to my level pretty quick. Like, and so yeah, now I'm at the level where like I'm starting to get to that Monster Hunter level of like, okay, I'm crafting some traps and bombs, some stuff. I'm starting to like read up on the monsters a little bit, learn like, okay, weaknesses here, kind of like I'm doing more expeditions where I'm just out there kind of like walking around trying to figure out where I can get the monsters to like meet. And so
Okay.
they fight each other and stuff. And
Yes, you got to start doing investigations, man. That's
Investigations.
that's where it's at. Like
Yeah.
you can choose which monster you're going to
right.
fight.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed like a certain set of rewards and stuff, and you can actually, if you do the special or investigations like each week, you can get like Wyverian prints and stuff, which will let you craft like gems, like a Rathalos ruby, shit that you
right.
really need. That are
I was wondering how you get that stuff.
yeah, that's the best way to get that stuff, because they're very rare drops, but that'll guarantee that you get that shit, so you can keep crafting shit that you want all the fucking time. It's pretty rad, and it really cuts down on the grind.
Great.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. That game. I'm digging it.
And it's great in a group.
Yeah.
You were saying that before, that it really helps to play with other people.
Yeah, basically I'm playing with like all my Dota friends who are burned out of Dota.
Yeah.
And now having a reliable audience of like 4 to 5 other people who will be playing at any given time.
Mhm.
So it's like I haven't had to do any solo hunts.
Oh, really?
Which is
That's all that I've been doing. I played 95% of that game. I've done solo.
So how much Iceborne have you gotten into?
So I'm ready. Let's see. I'm to Barioth right now, which is like the first major hurdle. This is the first point in which I'm like, I got to get rid of this defender armor and actually go to something else. So that's probably about 5 or 6 like main story beats in.
Okay.
I think, and that's kind of where I was a little farther in the PlayStation 4 version. But yeah, I'm at about that point right now on the PC. So having to retread through that stuff has been kind of a slog, but Monster Hunter is a comfort game for me, and I really needed it. So that's all that I've been playing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, I overtook your
That's
segment.
I knew it would naturally lead into you.
All right. Well, why don't we take a break and we'll come back and talk about the break a little bit more before we get into news and some other stuff.
I'm probably gonna get some water. Spoilers.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Dreams. Realities. Let's blur the line, shall we? It's a new year. It's time for a new you. It's time to turn your dreams into reality. It's time for Squarespace. Squarespace makes it easier than ever to launch your passion project. What are you looking to do? You going to start a new business? Maybe. You going to showcase your work? Hey, why not? Publish some content, sell some stuff. Whatever you're doing, Squarespace is the tool for you. There are beautiful templates. These templates have been created by world-class designers, and you can customize it all with just a few clicks and easily make a beautiful website all by yourself. And hey, are you looking to sell stuff? Who isn't? Am I right? Squarespace's powerful e-commerce functionality lets you sell anything online, and analytics help grow your site in real time. Everything's optimized for mobile right out of the box, and there's nothing to patch or upgrade ever. Buying domains is simple, and you'll get the help you need with Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support. Squarespace empowers millions of people from all walks of life, all over the place, doing all sorts of things. And they're all turning great ideas into something real. And now you can too. Head over to squarespace.com/bombcast for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use the offer code BOMBCAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/bombcast, and the offer code is BOMBCAST.
Now we're back.
Now we're back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. We made
Welcome
some back end changes that'll going to be taking effect this week. So I'm wondering what we're back from.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, that
There's,
stuff.
with some changes about the ad network stuff, and there's going to be like dynamically inserted ads and
Oh,
stuff.
boy, that scares me.
I hope that's the only thing that's dynamically inserted.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
And yeah, so occasionally people will get different ads depending on when they download
People that aren't
it.
us.
People that aren't, yeah. If you're a premium member, obviously nothing changes.
That's right. If you go to giantbomb.com, we listen to all of your data, all your conversations, anything you say, and we customize and tailor the ads to your enjoyment.
Serve them up
Yeah.
to you.
100% satisfaction. You'll be satisfied. How about that?
Yeah. We'll be satisfied.
After the insertion.
Absolutely. Yeah. So just a heads up on that. Like I don't know if that's going to happen. This is the first week we're using the new system. And we'll see how it all goes. Of course, as we're recording this, we haven't used it at all. Yeah, it's a very easy system to set up where we just kind of say like, here's where the brakes are, and then it does the rest. But we'll kick the tires on it and see how it all goes.
What if we're off by oh man.
Well, that's, yeah.
Oh geez.
And we'll be right
So much to worry about. What if the baby rolls in the oven?
back.
Okay.
Yeah. Cars. No, I don't know. That's my stereotypical
Cars.
podcast ad. Cars. That's not. No one's advertising cars.
Cars.
Are they?
We're not there yet.
Rock hard dicks.
Yeah.
Cars.
Someday.
The important stuff.
All things that remind me of what I did during break.
There you go. What did you do during break,
Yeah.
Jan?
I went to Disneyland.
What?
Yes.
Is that a euphemism for something, or you?
No, yeah, I went to Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
He was looking for the hidden Mickeys.
Oh, I get you.
I'm always looking for the hidden Mickeys. I
Yeah.
heard there was Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, so I
Oh,
went to the
God.
source.
Oh shit!
You're looking for
Look for
Walt
it.
You
himself.
asked Walt.
I will say,
Do you say they finally have Kingdom Hearts pins now?
no, they do not.
Not yet?
But the very first day I was there, I went for New Year's Eve with my significant other. Of course, the very first ride I line up for, I look up, lo and behold, there's 2 Kingdom Hearts cosplayers.
Oh, son of a bitch!
And I thought, here I am.
Yeah, I'm
Here's where
home.
I'm meant to be.
I'm home.
That's right.
I'm home. And I thought, and then my
It's the
girlfriend
Magic
was,
Kingdom.
yeah, my girlfriend was just looking at them, was like, that's an odd thing to wear to Disneyland. I wonder what they're wearing. Do you know? And then I just look at her begrudgingly. just like,
No.
yeah, it's Aqua, and that's
Is it pre or post Nort Aqua?
pre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes.
Cosplaying at Disneyland. Okay.
That's yeah.
Oh,
it's a
so they
huge thing.
but they
Oh,
don't
yeah.
allow actual like you can't wear actual costumes,
You
right?
can't
So they
wear,
call
like,
it Disney bounding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is
what?
Wearing an outfit inspired by a character from Disney.
Yeah.
Okay.
so it's like matching your color schemes and all this other stuff.
Sure.
And it
So you
just
can't like dress up like Mickey Mouse because there's a bunch of actual Mickey Mouses walking
Yes.
around.
Yeah.
A bunch of them. I have never been.
Official.
I was supposed to go and got food poisoning. So you have to like just be like I'm like Mickey,
Mickey
if he
inspired.
was.
Yeah.
I'm like dressed up in the same colors of the Mickey Mouse.
I'm
would
wearing
wear.
green like
I'm wearing
Peter Pan.
no pants, just like Donald
Winnie
Duck.
the Pooh. Oh, well, yeah. A lot of
Yeah, a lot of characters, no pants on.
interesting.
It's true.
It's
Yeah.
no shirt, no shoes, no service. You'll notice that pants are not required.
Let's keep it that
Yeah.
way.
But that's a lot of walking in a day. And then
Oh,
my
sure.
dumbass decided to like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna keep wearing the same heavy boots that I always wear.
Of course.
And it was very hard to walk after the first day. I'd like looked into my phone to see how many steps I'd done, and it's like a loose approximation of it, right? And it said that I'd walked 10 miles.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh
I
shit,
could believe it. Like
That's
you spend a full day walking around Disneyland.
yeah,
a lot
going
of
back
walking.
and
Yeah.
forth,
Right.
And that
Does
was
it
just
count
within
being on
one.
the rides going around?
I don't think so because
Yeah.
it'd be going too fast,
Okay, yeah.
right? But yeah, this is like a lot of standing and waiting. But I had fun. We had a lot of fun.
Were the rides cool?
Yes.
Okay.
What'd you go on?
We went on. So we tried the new Fast Pass thing, and like Fast Passes are like you get them ahead of time, so you can come back later to hop on the ride, so you can kind of avoid a line.
You
or
like
the big
go to
line.
the ride, kind of put your
Yes.
place in the queue essentially, and then like
Yep.
a timer goes and
You come back
back,
like 3 or
okay.
4 hours later,
okay.
kind of deal.
Are there people there that aren't? Do they charge for the fast pass? Is it like
So
are they creating class warfare inside Disneyland?
Yes.
with a
They've been
system of
doing that
haves and
forever.
have-nots.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So there's a standby line, which is the normal line where you just wait for like 3+ hours potentially,
Ugh.
right? Then there's
Tough.
Fast Passes. Fast Passes are free though,
okay,
but they don't heavily advertise them. They're just always near the front of the line, and people generally think I have to pay for that,
Yeah.
but you don't.
Huh.
What the thing you do
Okay.
now have to pay for is if you want a max pass, and that will
That's when Goofy's child gives you a pass. What?
yeah, and then like you sing "Stand Out." It's great. I fucking love that.
Pauly Shore is there.
She's Stacy. Anyway, that you can reserve fast passes on your phone.
Okay.
So
Ooh.
you can like be
with the max pass.
in your
with a max
hotel
pass.
room.
You have to check into the park.
Okay.
Yeah. So they get you on that at least.
Okay.
But you could check into a ride and get a fast pass for it if you're in Disneyland, but get one for California Adventure, which is the
Mhm.
park across the way.
Yeah.
And I've seen several ways to exploit that. It's great. My girlfriend and I totally did that. But the new Smuggler's Run, which is the ride in
Rockstar Zone.
Galaxy's Edge, the new Star Wars park,
Mhm.
it's pretty awesome. It's it kind of reminds me of the Back to the Future ride from Universal Studios.
Okay.
It's like a projection, but it's pretty
Oh,
interactive.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
So you have to deal with like 5 other folks in the same thing.
Ugh.
2 people are piloting, 2 people are gunners, and then 2 people are engineers.
Okay, so it's like, is it like loosely interactive? Like
Yeah,
you're shooting stuff or
yeah,
whatever?
you can actually
Okay.
have different progress depending on
huh.
how you team up well with
Yeah.
the other people.
How'd you do?
God, that's got to be frustrating
Ew.
if you're with people that are just shit.
Yeah. My girlfriend and I, we got paired up with like 3 little kids and their mom, and their mom looked super over having to deal with them. And you know, we didn't want to harp on the kids because you know, 5, 6 year olds.
Damn it,
What the
Billy!
fuck is wrong with you?
Shields at 100, Billy. We're under attack.
But it was fun because they were super excited, and like they give you little roles to play of like, hey, you be the pilot when you queue up for it. But the kids were too scared to be the pilots, so they turned to us and was like, here you go, like we'll trade. So my girlfriend and I, we wound up piloting the ship, and like these kids are like now the gunners, and they're fucking jamming on the buttons.
Oh, boy.
And like now this little kid who's like 6 years old is like directing me. He's like, we gotta go left, follow the train, mister. And it was adorable. It was great.
That sounds Star Warsy. You know, a ragtag group been thrust together by circumstance.
A bunch of people angry at each other over a kid's thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Very
totally
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Fun.
But yeah, there's a lot of like thought and care put into that fucking Galaxy's Edge part of the park,
Yeah.
and it's pretty awesome.
Did you go to the cantina?
Yeah, we got reservations for the cantina.
Did you get the blue milk?
Yeah, did you
Got the blue milk.
drink
I heard the
semen?
blue milk's bad.
It tastes like Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah,
And I mean, some people like Pepto, but I'm not
it's like
one
that
of those
kind of
people.
minty, almost.
It's like very chalky.
chalky,
though.
minty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not exactly drinkable.
No,
Consumable.
consumable.
Tastes okay.
Oh yeah.
But
We also had the green milk that tasted like a melted popsicle, so that's like a little bit
I
better.
heard the fizzes are the thing to. I don't know.
Yeah, there was. So the waiter, the group next to us had ordered something, and then the waiter goes to them and says, "Hey, after you drink this, your mouth and lips are gonna feel numb for a little bit. Don't be scared. It's supposed to happen."
Wow.
And then I was thinking, Jesus Christ, what is Disney gearing up for?
Yeah.
But yeah, the Galaxy's Edge part is like it's pretty well done. Even like the lead up to the actual Smuggler's Run ride, where you're like kind of in the Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty neat. Like you go into like the little area where Chewie's playing chess, and then you go into the actual cockpit.
Hey, hey, did you let him win?
He wasn't there.
No.
He wasn't there. Yeah.
Okay.
Is Chewbacca on a break where they don't have like a double Chewbaccas to like
You
cover
just see him
for it?
like smoking outside the Falcon. And it's just like, no pictures, kid.
Because I've been
I'm a
to
cast member.
I've been to Universal Studios where they built like the small little Harry Potter Diagon Alley
Yeah.
part,
Yeah,
and like that's kind of like it's cool for like 20 minutes, and then you realize, oh, I've walked this whole stretch of area within half an hour.
Yeah.
But like the Star Wars part, it's pretty expansive. They're opening a new ride in like a couple of weeks.
Huh.
But yeah, man, Disneyland doesn't fuck around.
So they tore down Space Mountain, right? There's no
It's
Space
still
Mountain
there.
anymore.
It's still there, but
Okay,
now it's
they've redone it.
Hyperspace Mountain.
What?
Yeah, so they've replaced a lot of like the Tomorrowland stuff with a lot of Star Wars stuff,
See that?
which I feel like they may walk back because now that they have this dedicated portion of
So
the park.
I haven't really been to Disneyland since like I was a little kid.
Mm.
I went once when I was just out of high school with some friends, but like I don't even remember what the fuck we did. It was a bad. It was a bad.
Sounds like drugs.
No. Yeah, so I went as a little kid, and like I remember marveling at a lot of the like that type, like even then in the 80s it seemed very like retro futuristic. Like Tomorrowland seemed like old,
Yeah.
but like in a rad way.
yeah,
It was like, man, this shit is crazy. Like all the just the design of it and the monorail, like all that stuff had such a cool vibe to it that like hearing that they just keep gutting all that stuff is just like, well, that's like now I don't give a fuck.
yeah. The Dumbo ride is still there.
Okay.
It's still good.
All
It's still
right.
great. I have learned, I hadn't been to Disneyland maybe like 2-3 years. But I remember 2-3 years ago, there were these like buff ass dudes walking around in denim vests covered in like a bunch of Disney pins
Yeah.
and
Disney gangs.
Disney gangs.
Yeah.
I noticed this time around, no Disney gangs.
Really?
Yeah. So I wonder if the park had tightened
Broke
up.
them up.
They broke them up. No gangs.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, it might also have been because it was New Year's. Like maybe there's just a different
I wonder.
demand to go to the park on
Possibly.
New Year's. That maybe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was weird because I remember them like kind of like not physically strong arming people, but like making their presence known and like kind of making other people feel uncomfortable.
Fucking garbage dump gatekeeping ass motherfuckers that think that Disneyland is theirs and
Yeah.
like what the fuck? It's Disney's.
Yeah.
You dumb motherfuckers. It is one of the biggest. It is the biggest corporation owns this shit.
100%
Yeah. Have fun dressing up like these characters that they'll never let go into public domain. But don't dress up just like them. Fucking garbage. Anyway,
yeah, that was it. Went like for fucking 4 days in a row.
So were you there for like New Year's? Like you were there for midnight? Like how was the fireworks?
Oh my
I bet
God.
that shit was cool.
The fireworks were great. We had the worst fucking DJ in the world. And I
yeah.
realized, you're in Disneyland, you have to be a DJ to placate to like families and stuff.
Yeah, totally. Are they playing just like the Mickey Mouse Club hits? Is it like
they weren't
the party?
They were playing like radio stuff too. And
sure. Yeah.
this guy, like, he sounded like what's the DJ's name from Burnout? Atomica. Where he'd play a song, let it play for 30 seconds, and then announce like what song title it was, and then have this little spiel. So a Skrillex song comes up, and he just yells, "Hey everybody, this is Skrillex!" And then my girlfriend and I are just like, "Okay, buddy." And he goes, "This song is called Bangarang. This is almost a Disney song. This is the Call of the Lost Boys." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And that proceeded for every single song.
Yeah.
And then he
Just
goes,
like a IMDb fun trivia facts.
He's like doing pop-up video for a DJ.
100%. Because he'd be like, "All right, this one's for my rockers in the house." And he starts playing Enter the Sandman, but then he like only the instrumental, and then he plays Lady Gaga over it.
Great. Yeah.
And then I'm like,
for the rockers in the house.
exactly. And then
Rockers.
and then he plays like Camp Rock, which is like a Disney Channel original movie.
Okay.
That should be for the rockers in the house.
That should be for the rockers. And then I got pretty hyped. And then like this little girl looked at me like this grown man getting hyped for Camp Rock. And then she was terrified. New Year's was great though.
Yeah, that
Too many
sounds
people.
awesome.
Too
I
many
can't
people.
tell if that sounds better or worse than we watched the Christmas Disneyland parade celebration, and their big musical act was Cisco featuring Sting.
What?
You had me at Cisco.
For all
You
your
lost me at
rockers.
Sting.
But Sting didn't really even sing. He was just kind of on stage,
He
like
doesn't
bobbing his
anymore.
head.
playing
He
bass,
can't.
or was you like
Right? Yeah, he like has throat cancer or something.
I don't know. He doesn't
He
sound
doesn't
great.
really
Sting not
sing, but he was
perform
up
it?
there
Oh.
and just like grooving
Okay.
to Cisco.
Yeah. How could you not?
Oh, sorry. No, please. I'm sorry. My mistake. It's a big one. Shaggy.
Oh, that's
That's totally
that's
different.
totally
That's a
different.
completely
Okay.
different show.
It's a very different show with a very different vibe, but it's still good.
I'm out.
You're out?
Yeah.
It wasn't him. That's the guy who it wasn't.
No, exactly. And it's not me staying to watch that show either.
Did you build a lightsaber?
I did not build a lightsaber. My barber asked me to get him some kyber crystals, though, and I did not deliver with that.
Was that code?
Oh.
I thought it
He's
was
like,
for
"Yeah,
a second, and then I thought, like, do you want me to
You
get
walk up to the guy with all
the.
the Disney pins on his jacket and tell him you need some kyber crystals.
It's like, let's go to the parking lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like, they have this like
Get on the monorail with me.
$400 Build-A-Bear,
Yeah.
make your own
Yeah,
lightsaber.
they sell like
400.
custom cases for them too, and it looked like a bunch of people are just walking around the park with like batons on their back.
Yeah.
It's
Like a
great.
kendo battle's going to break out at any moment.
There were a couple. Ran to like a couple of fans of the website. Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking one of my pictures with my lady friend. Apologize, I didn't catch their names though.
Awesome.
I appreciate
It was Donald Duck.
Whoa. Yeah, he's Donald Duck's been a subscriber for a while.
We can see his email.
Yeah. It's always so tempting to send him an email and just say, like,
Donald@duck.com.
fan.
Yeah. Shh, dude,
Oh,
fuck, man.
Leave that out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Leave that out.
Leave that out.
Believe it. I
Fantastic.
believe.
What else? With the whole baby thing, I now can't just have subwoofers just fucking booming bass all the time
Yeah,
playing
also shake-
games or
You're not supposed to shake the baby.
yeah, no, and yeah, if I really kept turning all this 2 Live Crew that I'm always listening to
Right.
up, it's just going to be bad for all involved. So
Yeah.
I've had to like figure out headphone situations, or I've been
Cool.
trying to figure out headphone situations without buying headphones
Right.
because I've been doing this job long enough that there are
You've accumulated some.
yes, I've
I know the
accumulated
feeling, yeah.
some headphones that were all unopened, and I had one pair that was still in the house that I found and busted open. That was a Razer headset,
Okay.
just this chintzy, cheap
Yeah.
plastic. Star Wars: The Old Republic branded
Wow.
headphones,
I know those.
and busted
Yeah,
them
they
open.
Don't
and
feel great.
no, they felt terrible.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, they're headphones. They're USB, which
They're
is nice
USB, yeah.
because I want a USB headphone because it makes the device switching easier.
Sure.
and they were terrible. So I used those for about 3 or 4 days, and I was like, wait a minute, I just saw like 4 or 5 pairs of headphones out in the garage. I really need to get out there and just like grab some different sets. And I went out there, and like a lot of them are Call of Duty branded.
Okay.
It's just like, so it's like, here's
Yeah,
the Call of Duty
everybody
Ghosts,
has
Turtle
their-
Beach or HyperX. And,
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
and here's the
Astro's got their Call of Duty stage.
Yeah,
Sure,
there was like one set of Astro Call of Duty ones, and then there was just a generic Astro A40 setup
A40s?
that
Okay.
I was looking at, and they're like, because we used those here for a long time. Before, like in the original basement, we had an A40 mix amp we used
Sure.
to split audio for quick looks.
Right. You could
Yeah.
do audio for your vocals
Yeah,
and your gameplay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're using that for a long time, and they just kept blowing up.
Whoa.
Like they were like, oh, this thing is completely fried, so we need a new
Shit.
mix amp or something.
Yeah.
And we had a handful of them. Anyway, so I was looking at those, and I saw a Turtle Beach Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 headphones
Okay.
that said that they were surround, which I was like, okay, let's give that a shot. That might be fun. If I
Like
could
5.1 or
5.1.
7.1? Okay.
Maybe I could hear some footsteps behind me when it's Call of Duty I keep playing.
I mean, it's simulated.
Yeah,
surround,
everything's
but
simulated.
yeah.
Right? You know, it's headphones.
Yeah, everything's
Everything's simulated.
man.
We live in a simulation. None of this is real. And they looked like they were USB, and also they were called Ear Force Sierra. And I was like, that's a dumb name. I'm going to
Yeah.
grab those. And they've actually turned out to be pretty good headphones, actually.
Turtle Beach, yeah, I like their sound quality.
Yeah,
To be honest.
it was
yeah.
like good sound quality. I looked it up. Like they didn't have any in stock, but I looked on GameStop, and it was like they were trying to list them for like $280 or some stupid thing
That's
like that.
ridiculous.
They're on
yeah.
eBay for like 40 or something. You know, it's like
Yeah,
whatever.
even so,
You know.
gaming headsets, yeah, the cost to quality
Yeah.
ratio is a widespread.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And I thought for the longest time, like, because I've been looking at headphones online for a while and thinking about buying a pair and all this other stuff, and it got me into that weird hole of just like I'm looking at like Mass Drop and looking at like headphone preamps and go like,
No.
yeah, what if because I don't want a headset. I don't need I have a microphone on an arm. I don't need a gaming headset, but I kind of want something that is, like I said, the nice thing about USB is because it just like will detect and switch over from the other stuff I have plugged in, and so I can go back and forth really, really, really easily.
Well, the good news is you can get like a USB like DAC or something like
Right.
that, like,
Yeah.
and you can plug an analog pair
Yeah,
into, which is probably your best bet.
that's
to be honest.
and that's what I thought about doing.
It's going to be cheaper. It's probably going to sound just as good or
I
better.
actually like these Turtle Beach headphones enough to where I think I'm done.
There you
but
go.
like before I decided to go in the garage and look at all those video game headphones, yeah, I was definitely like looking at like, well, what if I got a tube amp? Like shit like that.
No,
I'm just like,
no.
well, I'm going to need a stand to put these headphones on because they're very nice. And I was like, no, this is a nightmare. What am I even doing?
I got something that just like hooks to the underside of the
Oh,
table.
right. Yeah, you
like,
just hang it there.
I've got a mic arm,
Mhm.
and that's got like a screw-in arm, and I can
Yeah.
just hang my headphones right there.
Is your mic arm? Did you actually drill a hole in a desk?
No.
It's just
The other
clamped onto the
one's
side.
Clamped on.
So I'm using, it's a countertop. It's the top. It's a
Yep.
literal countertop on some. It's got one side that has legs. The other side is resting on a filing cabinet that's the exact same height, and that's cool. It's been a great desk for a lot of years, but the lips on it are not clamp friendly. So I really have fucked up a lot of the lip on that thing.
Keeps crunching
screwing that. Yeah, just
Yep.
crunching down this particle board on the bottom of it or whatever
Oops.
for all these mic arms and stuff. So I kept thinking about drilling it, but then I was like, I'm too lazy to take everything off this desk. So fuck it.
I'm the same way. Yeah, my desk is not a pretty place right now.
Yeah.
It's not in a good place.
And I guess like that's the thing with CES is, you can guarantee that someone out there is announcing 35 new sets of gaming headphones somewhere.
Yeah,
It just feels like that
Turtle
stuff
Beach
never
and,
stops.
and Astro in particular,
Yeah.
just go over and over. Like even Razer, I guess.
Mhm.
They have so many different brands. It's pretty.
Maybe we
ridiculous,
should check
but
in on that stuff sometime.
I've got my
Yeah.
favorites. I love HyperX stuff.
Mhm.
It's a quality to cost to it's the best bang for your buck.
Okay.
for
yeah,
real.
Yeah.
Like you can get a set of $50 headsets,
Mhm.
and they sound great.
Cool.
They work great.
Yeah.
They're very durable. They're badass.
Yeah.
I think I prefer the sound quality like to a Turtle Beach maybe a little bit better.
Okay.
But Yeah, they're great. They're fantastic. I use those as my main cans.
Good
at
to know.
home. Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah, if I hadn't actually liked this Turtle Beach pair, then I was like, okay, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I would have
HyperX
just
feels so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually the big thing is like I really hate wearing headphones for long periods of time because it just like really wears on you.
Yep.
And then on top of that, like I was wearing those razors, and
You can hear the plastic like.
Yep. Totally. Also,
crunching around.
they fucking lit up in some Star Wars logo, and they just got hot. They got
Oh,
fucking
really?
hot. Like I couldn't feel the
dumb.
heat on my ears, but every time I touched them, I was like, whoa.
I couldn't even last that long.
It's terrible. But then also just like the sound quality coming out of them is like that ear fatigue of just like
Yeah.
everything about the way this sounds and feels on my head is just like wearing me out. Like this is a terrible experience. Like just garbage headphones.
I've been getting into buying these replacement ear cuffs
Oh,
or
yeah,
muffs,
yeah.
I guess. And they come in different, like different textures essentially. But they're like
What are you
$20.
getting? Like a snake skin or like
no,
something
no.
nice?
Nothing like these here. It is more of a foam,
Yeah.
like a leatherette kind
Okay.
of.
Yeah.
They feel really nice. But then there's also some like mesh with some foam on the inside as well, which are super comfortable. They pick up lint like fucking crazy, but they're so cushiony and nice.
Yeah.
It's
maybe
they're
I'd
like little
look into something like
clouds.
that. I ended up I haven't gotten a set for I assume they make it for the Oculus Quest, but like it was for like the idea that you're going to be working out wearing a VR headset. It was like this whole replacement layer of foam for the eyepiece that was like better at absorbing sweat, and you could take it off and wash it. And
I was gonna
that
say
sort of
you
stuff.
should be able to.
But it was like a similar idea of just like, hey, I'm going to replace this like rigid, shitty feeling thing with something that actually is cushions better and blocks the light out a little bit better and all that sort of stuff. I got that for my original Rift and liked it a lot, but then haven't gotten it for the Quest. And anyway, I'm not doing enough VR stuff to actually care. But if I were, I would get another one of those.
Yep, washable.
Yeah,
That sounds smart.
washable seems like the key.
Oh, it's so gross.
Yeah. Why don't we get into the news?
Okay,
do
that.
Let's see here. Y'all watching that speed running?
Yeah, I watched the Mega Man 7 100% run, a game that I'm very familiar with. I played through that dozens of times as a kid, and
Kid. Oh my god. Oh my god.
you know, as a wee child, one of my first
geez.
video games.
Oh, you had a Wii.
Well, I did, but that's a different
You're a
story.
wee kid.
It was just like watching the Super Mario RPG run in the previous year, another game I'm just like super familiar with, and I'm still like, oh, what?
Yeah.
That's you can do that? Just like not even like like weird glitchy stuff, but just like there's an item there. What the hell?
Oh,
like
yeah.
like there's a power up here if you did like. To me, that's the stuff that I'm always like. I love watching runs of stuff I'm super familiar with because there's always new stuff in there that blows me away. And then I watched some of that Fallout 3 run, and that was really cool.
I feel like the Bethesda games are already so just held together with tape.
Yeah.
That like, so those speedruns are always fun because it's always like, oh, I found a weird way to fly in the air, like the Oblivion one of just like flying into the ending, basically. I always thought was kind of cool. I like. I haven't watched any of it. I always watch it kind of after the fact.
Yeah.
And just kind of catch up with, it's like, hey, here are the 5 runs people are talking about or whatever. But like, I'm always really interested in
5 runs.
Yeah.
Everyone's
top
talking
5
about.
runs.
Number
Number 4
1.
will fucking blow your
As
mind.
I say, number 3 happened to me on
Yeah.
Christmas.
I always like the super glitchy ones.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's always the ones that are just like, here's how busted this game is, or here's, what if you can do this one thing, then the rest of this game breaks in a really fortunate way.
Yeah.
And like the tool assisted stuff is always really interesting to me too, for similar reasons.
Yeah, some of the Half-Life ones from a couple years back of like, hey, just hop in this corner and then you're good.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're done.
Or the stuff of just like, hey, we're programming a Mario Maker interface into Super Mario World via the controllers. You know, just like weird shit like that is always the stuff I like the most. So gonna go and look in on that after the fact, probably.
Goes on for a full week. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, I believe that's right. Man,
Okay.
those things have just been getting longer and longer.
How
Thought
many
it was a
are there
weekend at
per
first.
year? There's like
Yeah, I think it
3
was
now
just a
per
week.
year, isn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah. There's summer.
Winter is awesome. Summer games done quick. And then is there
Is
another one?
Is there a third? Anyway, yeah. Dreams went gold. It'll be out February 14th. We had said something about the date, but like they announced formally, hey, the game is done now, which is kind of the new news there. Yeah.
Right?
Valentine's Day.
Hedgehog
Yes.
Sonic the
right.
Hedgehog Day.
February 14th is the Hedgehog's Day of the Hedgehog.
My partner came
Is
to me
into
and
hedgehogs.
said, well, yes, but also said, is it weird as a Valentine's gift to get us tickets to go see Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
No.
And I said, no, that's why I love you.
That's why. Yeah.
That's the whole.
I love you even more.
Wow. It's beautiful.
I don't know.
It's gonna be a great day.
Yeah, that'll be all right. Or
we're also might go see monster trucks after that.
okay, yeah, that's a day. That's a
Yeah.
fucking day.
Yeah.
Even I bet people watching at the monster truck rally on Valentine's Day is a fucking will be a fun experience. My here's my fucking ice cold take on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Ooh.
It will be okay
Sure.
and totally uninteresting.
Yeah.
People will come out of it and go, yeah,
I didn't think they could do it, and
Yeah,
they didn't.
and they did it.
but they
Yeah.
didn't
I mean, it's fun.
fuck it up too
I'm not
bad.
going to tell you to go see it, but like, hey, they made it. You know,
I'll be happy if I walk away from that movie going like, man, Jim Carrey was really doing some zany stuff up there.
yeah,
That's like that. If
That
that
knucklehead.
happens, I'll be happy.
yeah. In further news, WWE 2K20 was unplayable in the year 2020.
That's right.
Until they patched it. This all happened over the break here. That's when the clock hit January 1st, Chris Jericho did not appear. He's signed
God damn
elsewhere. Instead, the game just kind of stopped working. Or you would get to the main menu and select like it seemed like most menu items.
Yeah.
Where there's like career mode or trying to access downloads or play online or that sort of stuff would just crash. Crash the PS4. It seemed like it was multiple versions. It would just close the game on PC. But it was like throwing up crash errors on PS4 and stuff like that. 2K did eventually patch it. Classic.
They're like,
Yes.
honestly, we thought people would have stopped playing by
yeah,
now.
probably should have. This was our just like private.
Did you guys play the
like
game?
a little nudge, just be like, hey, maybe move on.
Yeah.
Just like this. There's a lot of other stuff.
Sure as
you
hell
could be
nobody's
doing
going
with
to
your
buy this for anyone on
time.
Christmas.
Yeah, if you got this game for
boy.
Christmas, we're sorry.
They're not that sorry.
They're not that sorry. Here's some other news that became non-news, but we're still going to talk about it. AMD had a keynote at CES. And as a part of it, they talked about all the cool shit AMD is doing, one of which is providing graphics hardware for the Xbox Series X. And as a part of that, they showed an Xbox Series X up on the screen, a rotating 3D model
Ooh, we get to
of
see
the
back.
console. And then people, Polygon, as well as other places, wrote up a story saying, like, we now know the ports on the back of the Xbox Series X, which included, according to this rendering, 2 HDMI ports.
They're
Which
still
you're like,
doing the
In and
TV
out,
thing.
baby.
Like, what
in and out.
Yeah. Yes. In and out, baby, indeed.
The classic, which one of these do I do?
Yeah,
Problem
I
will
don't
not ever
well,
stop.
so yeah, we'll see. So yes, so AMD showed that, and then Polygon broke down the list. They looked at the video very carefully, and they're like, from top to bottom, that's an Ethernet jack, an optical audio port, 2 USB-C ports, 2 HDMIs, and a power connector, as well as a USB-A on the front.
Okay.
And then
we knew about the USB-A.
Yeah.
we saw that.
And then Microsoft issued a statement saying no.
This is great.
And literally actually said, no, AMD got those from turbosquid.com, which is like a marketplace for 3D models.
Yeah.
Like you could buy this exact model that they used for $10, apparently.
And they got that from the back of an Xbox One.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Because when I read that story, I was actually like fucking shocked. Because I was like, they can't be putting 2 HDMI ports
Right.
on this fucking thing. They have to have learned their lesson. They wouldn't even want to signify right now in this phase that like, oh, we've got some pass-through ideas about television. Like, no. it is hard for me to believe that console will come to market with 2 HDMI ports. And anyway,
Agreed.
Microsoft came out and said, like, not only did they say no, they said, like, no, they got them from some fucking website for $10. Come on.
Just adding AMD in their replies.
Basically.
Like, what do you guys think?
It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
That's hilarious. It's really good.
So that was a fun non-news story. Hey, there was a Sony patent for a new controller
Okay.
that showed the paddle shifters on it.
Oh, would this be the
as like
DualShock
a
5?
built-in? Potentially, it had a micro USB, and you'd expect maybe it would be USB-C.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Right.
hard. It didn't have a PlayStation button on the patent image, but patent images don't always have to match one-to-one what the actual thing
right.
is.
They're more of like
Yes.
they're like you're patenting like
The idea.
specific,
Yeah.
The
like
new idea.
like the
new
paddles
stuff.
or whatever.
Right.
What's
you
different?
know? Like they don't need to repatent like the X and 0 and
No,
square
no.
buttons or anything.
But it did get me thinking, like, they are putting out that thing like next month for DualShock 4s that add paddle shifters to it.
Okay.
oh, really?
Yeah, it's a plug-in.
Oh, is that their Elite?
No, it's just a plug-in to the bottom of the
Oh.
existing
Oh,
controller
right, that little
that adds the bumpers and has
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has an OLED screen on
Oh,
it
the
that
back-
you use to customize
The literal back button.
literal
thing.
back yeah, like
Okay.
yeah, for paddle shifting type stuff.
Crazy.
And I started to wonder, do you think that's to make those controllers forward compatible? Is that something that maybe that's built into the
That
PS5?
could make sense.
Yeah,
And
I
they're
can see
like,
that.
hey, get used to this now, because
Yeah, I don't want to.
yeah, I don't know that I'd want to either.
I'm not a pedal shift.
I'm not a paddle shifter
I'm
person.
not. a paddle shifter person.
I'll try it out.
I've tried it out.
Okay.
Same.
You should try it out.
I will.
Yeah.
You get in the way. I accidentally.
But
hit
maybe
them.
if it was like separate functions and it was used appropriately for like menus or whatever, and like
Right.
not like critical functions.
Mm.
Because right now all those things are, even on this PS4 thing, is going to be map whatever buttons you like to it. So I
Right.
can hit square by reaching back here, and it's just it's never on those Xbox Elite controllers that do it. It's never felt right. Any of those scuff controllers I've seen over the years, like it just none of that stuff ever felt good
Yeah,
to
same.
me.
You think they'd use that to replace the touchpad for the PS5 maybe if they don't include that?
It's I
Like just
suppose
functionality, I guess.
possible. If they want, that's the thing, is that if they want backwards compatibility with PS4, you start to wonder, does the PS5 controller have to have 100% of the functionality of the PS4, or do they just say, hey, if you want to play PS4 games, it'll work almost with all of them, but some of the games that use the touchpad in esoteric ways, you might just need to bring a PS4 controller.
PS4 controller. You're right.
Like maybe that
I
would be
think
a way
they,
they could
at the
go.
very least, need a solution for the press, the touchpad
The
button.
additional button.
Yeah, and those are that's the totally
Mhm.
yeah.
And-
But
then
like,
actually
those
has three
that's how
different
that
zones on
thing
it
gets
too.
used, right?
Yeah.
It's like a left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Any of you open your Steam controllers yet?
I did.
I did. Yeah.
I played a exhibition Dota match with my Steam controller,
Wow.
and holy shit, did I think it was bad before?
Mm-hmm.
Dota?
Yeah. The Steam controller, the button placement's just bad. They're too small. The buttons, and I'm talking about like your XAYB
Uh-huh.
buttons. Too small, weird spot. The buttons themselves are too small, and then also they're like crimped together into this little tiny thing to
Huh.
make space for the two big.
Oh, right.
Circles.
the old
Erogenous zones,
discs.
yeah.
Yeah.
This-
Not,
yeah.
not good.
Not good.
Not
You
good.
just need to find the
Not a
right
good control.
configuration. It's highly customizable.
Yeah.
I had a Dota.
Download a good
I'm sure they
profile.
did,
They had a
Yeah.
million Dota ones, and the actual cool thing was it automatically gave me the like top rated Dota thing without having to like actually go and
Right.
install it. It's
Oh,
just like,
okay.
as soon as I booted up the game,
Huh.
it was like, hey, you're good to go. And I could type like, I could use the letters of the like spell abilities, and like so I couldn't like actually communicate to team members or anything, but I could write like E F F F F F R R R R.
Great. Finally. Yeah, I put mine in a box and tried to forget about it. But I already had a prototype Steam controller, weirdly enough. Digitimes. This is a story from
Those times are good.
Polygon.com reporting a story out of Digitimes, which is a Taiwanese publication.
Digital monsters.
Yep. Claiming new Nintendo Switch model this year with a magnesium alloy body and an update to the CPU.
Damn, that's some professional sounding stuff.
Yeah, right. I don't know how much I buy this anymore.
The Digitimes?
They were just the concept of a Pro Switch or like an upgraded Switch launching in this time frame,
right?
Like,
because the idea is it would compete right against the Xbox
it'd be like something
PS.
new to go up against the console launches. That doesn't mean it has to be like feature for feature or like achieve graphical parity, but it's like something new to push to people,
to put on shelves and be like, oh,
some more stuff from this from Polygon's take on it.
Nintendo don't play that game though.
There's no concrete information regarding the potential upcoming model, but some are predicting the next console is a Switch Pro device, like Dr. Serkan Toto, who's a CEO of an industry consultancy, who told GamesIndustry.biz, just to get another publication deep in this, there's no doubt in my mind that Nintendo will launch a Switch Pro in 2020, specifically after the summer holidays to counter the rollout of the PS5 and next-gen Xbox later in the year.
Super speculation.
And that Dr. Toto suggested a retail price of $399 with 4K support, bigger cartridge sizes, and of course, beefed up components.
Why not? Why not?
Gotta beef those components up.
And GI Biz also getting another analyst, Piers Harding Rolls, to kind of shit on that a little bit and say that the likelihood of a Switch Pro device has significantly diminished since the launch of an improved flagship Switch and the Switch Lite. And he believes 2020 will be Nintendo's best year for Switch hardware sales since its launch. I think I'm on that side of this where, like, okay, the Switch is already going to be outclassed in power by the PS4 and Xbox One. We're going to have new consoles this year that'll bump that a step further, but I don't think Nintendo needs to respond right now. I think they need to keep.
And they never really have. They always,
totally like they're in their own lane pretty well. I think the thing they're focusing on, and like I'd be interested to see what happened post Pokemon. But it's like, okay, the Switch Lite is a cheaper way to get that into the hands of kids and to like get a younger demographic using the platform.
Sure.
Which I suspect has been the thing that they've been working on.
Yeah.
Having something more expensive out there, even with beefier components, as it were.
It's like, you're gonna
does not seem like a good
totally
idea,
like you're selling Switches to people that bought a launch Switch that are like diehards, and they'll still buy the games. Like it's not, maybe you pull that lever someday once the system seems like it is just aging out, and you're just like, man, this thing looks fucking rough. And there are definitely some ports where you're already there.
I do think there is some value though to, since the Switch is for many people a handheld console. Like my Switch, I'm on my second Switch now, but my first Switch was like definitely like the Joy-Con grip is getting a little weaker. It's getting a little scratchy. Like it makes sense
some
that
of the Joy-Con drift problem that people ran into.
That eventually they'd be like, okay, well, let's just put this new thing out for the people who have been lifelong Switch owners, who probably their console could be just due for a trade-in or an upgrade.
Yeah.
Like but that could be the Lite now.
And a more powerful device, like sure, if you can pull it off, why not? But like 4K for a device that is increasingly a handheld device.
Yeah, give me better battery life more than anything. That's like my number one.
Yeah, that seems like a move that only makes sense now. Like thinking about it now with how things have gone since these rumors first started, last year or even the year before or whatever. I think it only makes sense in the context of when they start porting a lot of the bigger AAA games to the Switch, they look rough.
Yes.
Yeah, Witcher looks rough.
Yes.
Like you're increasingly impressed that it could happen at all. Yep. You look at it and go like, "Wow, that's cool that they did it."
Rumors that Red Dead is coming.
Like I certainly wouldn't want to play this, but it's cool that they can do it. Like if that's a significant use case for Nintendo, then it makes sense for them to bump it up just to make those ports more viable or something like that.
And
but
you can maybe even capture that first crop of like PS5 whatever games.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you beef up the system, you kind of push back Father Time a little bit and go, hey, it's still viable for you to port maybe your PS5
Ubisoft,
games, to this platform. Whereas going down effectively like a generation and a half or more, whatever. That's dumb math. That's not a real number.
I know what you mean.
But you know what I mean. Yeah. That story gets harder for Nintendo to tell unless they've got it. It increasingly relies on sales numbers, and I don't know I'm sure like stuff like Diablo and Overwatch probably did fucking gangbusters on Switch.
Oh yeah.
But like I couldn't sit here and tell you like, do you think like The Witcher was worth it for them to do the port? Do you think it sold that well? Like maybe with the show out, maybe that'll pivot and make sense down the line. But like Wolfenstein or something like that. Was it worth it for Bethesda to do that game? You know, and then if that port work only gets harder as a result of like, okay, now we're generating assets for that might display on an 8K television someday. That's not real either. What the fuck? Numbers are bad. But you know, like if they're making games for PS5 and Xbox Series X first, and then have to scale it down to the original Switch, like that just gets it's a harder pitch for a Nintendo unless they've got tons of sales of those games to back it up.
Since we're talking about the Switch, can I go back to one more game I
Let's
want
hear
to
it.
mention really quick?
No, we don't. I don't want to talk about games.
Absolutely
It's
not.
2020. We're video games.
Shannon, would you change your tune if I said it was Pokemon
Oh,
Shield?
100%, yes.
We beat Pokemon
Nice.
Shield. And I got to say real quick, I think...
Why'd you go with Shield?
Not
Sword?
Like Sword Dog better? Shield Dog better?
Like Shieldbird better.
Shieldbird?
Than Swordward. Remember the guys? They got the funny hair.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to shout out specifically was like that game's end game stuff.
The epilogue.
The epilogue is pretty damn cool.
It's neat.
It was unexpected.
Yeah.
Like after the championship stuff, I kind of figured there'd be like maybe one more dungeon, like you go in like a red or a blue, you know, to go find Mewtwo or whatever. But yeah, there's tons of stuff. The battle tower seems really cool.
Yeah.
Like I was a little underwhelmed by that game. 5 or 6 gyms in when we were like talking about it around Game of the Year time. But
Sure.
that end game stuff, and my only complaint is I wish there was like a bigger, more involved wild zone.
100%.
Afterwards.
Yeah. I totally think that is the direction they should take the games moving forward. I don't know what they would do with like a Super Sword or Super Shield new iteration, but yeah.
So you might be in luck. I believe it's this Friday, but this week there is a Pokemon-focused Nintendo Direct.
I wonder if that's just the sleep stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
I guess maybe it could
But
be that.
yeah, I mean they might. There's been a lot of
announcing about
rumors
Sword and
about
Shield.
like
would they
patching in stuff or like a new remaster of an older game, like what they did with Let's Go.
Oh right.
Yeah.
I would wonder. It seems so close to the shipment of Sword and Shield that it's hard for me to imagine them announcing a whole new game or remaster or something like that. Like this almost seems like it's in a window for like, hey, for the first time we're gonna significantly patch this game and add in a second Wild Zone or just like some kind
all
of
your
actual
missing
thing.
Pokemon.
Put in other
Yeah,
stuff. Or,
Well, they've said, I think I'm remembering this correct. They said they are never going to have all of them, right?
Man.
They
Right,
like came out and
sure,
said like
They're not
we
doing it.
will eventually roll in something, but
Some,
it's
yeah.
not ever
Yeah.
going to. Hit
Yeah,
that.
so maybe this is the eventually we'll roll in something news.
Yeah, over the
potentially.
holiday they had a couple events of like special Pokemon,
Yeah.
like hey, here's a shiny Magikarp. So I could see them implementing a few Pokemon at a time, or like introducing one just to keep interest going.
Yeah.
Or like some type of like time stuff to keep people coming back. Because they were doing that for the longest time still with like the 3DS games of like, hey, this month you can get this legendary if you go to a GameStop or a Target or whatever, or enter in a code.
Wow, yeah.
So I could see them still keeping people tugging along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably makes sense.
Season 2 of the competitive ranked mode started up in January or earlier in the month. Yeah, I'm still doing very poorly, guys. Still suck when it comes to
just pick. What's the meta? Like, are you playing the right team?
man, so the problem with like the rental stuff, the rental team stuff, it's great because you can try out a wide variety of other people's teams. And like, they'll have like a little small write-ups of like, hey, this is my general strategy. This is like what I start with, what I end with, etc. That I keep jumping in between too many of them. So I'm not getting like the full feel of the team. And also with rental teams, like you're renting like a 1-for-1. You can't edit that at all.
Right. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So there'll be some times where they'll have a Pokemon that I'm used to using a specific way, and it doesn't have that move
Have
set or
completely
like
different moves.
yeah.
But like, how hard is it at this point with the amount of that game you've played to just generate a high level version of whatever team you want?
Not super hard
Yeah.
at this point. They're just some Pokemon with hidden abilities that you need to do a max raid for, and I haven't done that for every single one.
Okay.
And generally, like, the competitive ones are like the ones with like the hardest hidden abilities to find. But it's been neat. It's funny and fun how every 2 weeks the meta, not completely changing, but like there's definitely like a flavor of the week of like, hey, everyone is using this team comp, or everyone has gone back to this. What the fuck? This does that, and like a bunch of Pokemon that were written off, like Morpeko, whatever it's called. The small hamster-looking one is actually pretty lethal when used correctly.
Marnie fucked me up with the Morpeko ones, and I was just like, this thing's fucked up.
Yeah, she's like smoke, like it's switching stances and stuff. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pokemon, pretty good. And then let's talk later. I got a Machamp that I need to evolve.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
All right.
You just got just like
Get you some Kyber.
Just to grow some arms.
some Kyber crystals. Got to evolve this Machamp, if you know what I mean.
Winky.
Yeah, see you out back. And we already talked about the PS5 logo. That was top story. That was at the bottom of this list for some reason. Here, I had it all the way down here.
We had a 45-minute meeting before this podcast to discuss like if we needed to start with it.
It's just big news.
It's a 5.
Yeah, it looks
a 5.
I
feel like
other ones.
literally any person could have photoshopped that logo together at any point over the last 4 to 7 years.
In fact, you could probably Google PS5 logo, and the first Google image result probably won't be the actual official one.
Yeah,
but
it'll look just like Maybe if you look at them side by side, you'd be like, oh, actually, there's something different
the
here.
curve is a little different on the
The
Vive.
kerning is all wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's a 5.
Cool. I mean, whatever. They're calling their console the PlayStation 5. They should.
Yeah.
That's
Why
the
not?
right name for that thing. Like, I can't begrudge them any of that. But like, seriously, having the one new thing. Not that CES is a big deal anyway. But anyway, just like having a new thing. Be like, here's the logo. Like, thanks.
Cool, man.
Very surprising.
If you go into Google right now and search PS5 logo, the 5th result is Comic Sans.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be a.
What if I go into
direction.
Bing image search?
Oh, don't
go to Bing.
Don't do that.
Don't
Not
go
while
to
you're
Bing.
at work.
All right. Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'll turn on my VPN and do it. Let's take one more break and we'll come back with the hottest email segment in the nation. It's emails after this. People love to go behind the scenes, right? I mean, you want to know what's going on with the thing behind the thing. And that's what Netflix is here doing with their Behind the Scenes podcast. How did the writers develop that plot? What inspired a character's signature outfit? All that stuff. You'll get an exclusive look at how Netflix's biggest series are made. Season 1 brought you to Hawkins, Indiana, and uncovered the magic of Stranger Things' 3rd season, and now the new season of Behind the Scenes takes you into the adaptation of Andrew Sapkowski's best-selling books and into the world of the Netflix original series The Witcher. And you'll find out how the writers, cast, and crew took almost 3,000 pages of original material and brought that fantastical world to life. The series will explore the characters, like Yennefer of Vangerberg, Cyrilla the Lion Cub, Sintra, and yes, Geralt. I think that guy's the Witcher. It features everyone from the executive producers to the cast to sword masters, and it's your ticket to a deeper understanding of The Witcher. Host Brandon Jenkins takes you through the adaptation process from the writer's room all the way to your screen. New episodes of Behind the Scenes premiere on January 8th with new episodes every week. You can subscribe right now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We need a little more laser noises.
I'll get right on that.
20 and 20.
Well,
I guess.
do you like a laser or do you like a blaster?
I like a laser blaster.
What's the difference between a laser blaster?
I feel like a blaster has more distortion on the sound effect. Yeah, and a laser is lasers are clean, blasters are filthy. So I guess I like blasters.
That sounds bad.
That just sounds
That's
like
all right.
that sounds like we got a Commodore over there.
I'll get on the case.
All right.
Okay. Laser blasts.
It's
You know what I like is like a laser chain gun. You know,
Okay.
just like it's like a lot of short laser sounds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you also hearing like the chain gun revolving?
You hear like a faint whir. In
Why
the
would it
background.
whir? It's shooting lasers. The reason a
Why
chain gun
whir it?
spins is because of how bullets work.
But it's
I feel like
put
you're making
lasers in
faulty
there.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not making faulty sci-fi. The Mandalorian is.
Well,
Look, Jeff, it's a galaxy far, far away,
yeah.
They do
It's a
things
Western.
differently there.
and it's a long time ago.
Okay.
They didn't
Before they
realize
had
how
perfected
lasers.
the science.
It's to intimidate.
Okay, no, all right, yeah. If it's just a straight up fear tactic, I don't know. But I feel like if you're doing that, it should be every single hole has a different lens on it that makes a slightly different color.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And then-
Rainbow.
and
Like a light show.
Exactly, like a fun light show.
Smoke a bunch of drugs and just watch the laser gun.
Yeah, yeah. It's Mandalorian Floyd. I bought a laser, and I bought
You
a
can
laser.
burn people with
yeah,
your laser.
I bought a.
Is it
I
a
bought
blue laser.
Yes, it's blue. I bought a blue laser off the internet.
One of the blue
Then
ones.
I could light cigarettes from across the street or something, or really fuck someone's eyes up, and it came with all these glasses, and I got too scared to use it. It's fucking scary.
Yeah, I stole one of those from a former place of employment.
Yeah.
And yeah, shit came
It's-
with like a giant Bible-sized thing of like, don't use this under any of these
Yeah.
circumstances.
Like it has a weird code you have to enter
Yeah.
to turn it on.
oh yeah,
And I always forget the code. And it came with some glasses, and I lost the glasses for a while, but I found them again. So at least there's that. But like, yeah, it seemed like a really cool thing to buy. And at the time, the company that was selling it was like, laws are about to change. We're not going to be able to sell these lasers anymore. And I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about buying a stupid laser for about 5 years now. The time is now. And then, of course, they kept on selling fucking lasers.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
nothing changed.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing changed.
like how like what is the size of the one you have?
It is like not a lightsaber size,
Yeah.
but it's getting there.
It's, yeah, right.
It's like
You could almost club someone to death.
oh
with
yeah,
it, right?
it's heavy
Yeah.
enough that you could hurt someone with it just as a blunt object.
And
for
then
sure.
you burn them.
and then you burn them.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
burn your name in their
Mhm.
butt.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Uh-huh.
a brand
I just do that that's just
from across the street.
Thursday
Oh.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's my fetish. I'm burning your name into your flesh from across the street. It's the only way I
Let me
can.
tell you these Bing search
It's
terms.
the only way I can get
that'll
it.
help you out.
Okay, great. That's our new segment. Let me tell you these Bing search terms that will help you out. Otherwise known as emails, bombcast@giantbomb.com
Laser blast.
is the email address to blast your emails out.
Excuse me?
To blast your emails
Excuse
out.
me?
You
To
wanna be
blast your B-mails.
There
out
it is.
B-mails.
B-mails. 'Cause
Play the song
I
again.
did
Sing it,
right.
Ben.
B-mail dump truck.
B-mails.
B-mail
You need
dump
to play
truck.
like
With Ben.
play the song backwards.
Yeah,
Can you do that?
No.
Okay.
we need a better soundboard. I got one that makes a lot of Waluigi noises.
Oh
No.
No? Okay.
No.
You said
All right.
better.
There's like 150.
This
Oh.
wasn't going to be the first B-mail I read, but it's the most relevant. Dear Bomb Crew, this comes in from Matt in Bristol, United Kingdom. Just writing to let you know that Jeff isn't the only person to receive unsolicited Bing pornography when searching for innocuous gaming terms. I was recently trying to show my partner a picture of Granny's Garden, a 1983 adventure
I
game
hear
for
ya.
the BBC Micro.
Yep.
This was a children's educational game which was popular in British schools in the 80s and 90s. So imagine my surprise at the results when I binged the name. Thank you for mentioning this phenomenon on the Bombcast.
I am not surprised. I think Jeff is.
Granny's Garden?
I accidentally typed Gardem with an M.
Still porn?
No.
That looks educational.
Oh, you know what? My safe search is set to moderate because
Oh.
I don't use Bing on this browser because it's a computer I bring out into public. It's only the computer at home when I'm really
Right. When all the lights are
free
off.
binging, we call it.
Free binging.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Granny's Garden,
Mhm.
Yeah.
our Bing Game of the Year, brought to you by Bing Fresh.
And speaking of United British Video Games,
Yep.
the entirety of this email was
Sensible Soccer.
This email, or the entirety of this email from Matt, no location listed, says, "This seems important," and a link to an article about the Royal Mail, which I guess is the mail.
The Queen's Mail?
The
Yes,
Queen's
yes.
Mail, are doing a run of 12 stamps that are England's, what does it say here? The Royal Mail has received a set of 12 stamps that celebrate the UK's contribution to video games. This new set traces the roots of the UK games industry into the very early 1980s and includes 4 stamps that chart the evolution of the iconic blank games. Jeff, I was wondering, there's 9 games,
Okay.
12 stamps, one set of 4.
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering if you could hit me. The earliest is 1984. The latest is 1995. I'm trying to think, trying to see if you can guess England's.
The only so
greatest
as
contribution.
someone who pulled together news for this podcast and didn't take the story, I know one of them is Tomb Raider.
Right. So that's the Chronicle one.
Yeah.
They have like 1996, 1998, 2000, 2013.
Yeah.
It's cool. You see
Oh,
like
okay.
Lara Croft. It's basically screenshots of Tomb Raider Adventures.
It's just pictures of next generation covers.
Chronicles and Tomb Raider, and it's
Yeah.
just like, Laura in different. Here's the tour with the T-Rex, and look how far video games have come.
Lara Croft.
What else do you think is on there?
Okay. Do you have the list?
I have the
I wasn't
list.
sure if they'd announced it or not. Okay. British video games that I would put on stamps.
You said one of them.
Sensible Soccer.
Sensible Soccer,
absolutely has to be one of
1992.
them.
Seen by
Sensi.
many to be the father of digital football games. This caption says, "It was listed as one of the 10 most important video games of all time by a committee of U.S. games experts." Wow.
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 They did it.
Wait, so U.S. games experts determined
Well,
Sensible Soccer
I think
to
that's
be...
just a side note. Yes.
I have my doubts.
You were not one of the experts?
No, I was not. No, if you asked me about British video games, Sensible Soccer might be the first thing. In fact, it just was the first thing out of my mouth. Wipeout.
Yeah, I believe, yes, Wipeout is on there, 95.
What, 95. Oh, that one was 95. I thought Tomb Raider was in 95.
Developed
Oh,
in
shit.
Liverpool and featured original music by the Chemical Brothers.
Yes. Well, yeah, among others, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Orbital.
Wipeout, yeah, Wipeout XL had a, yeah, okay, yeah. Wipeout XL, I feel like was grossly responsible for, or at least partially responsible for the mainstream success
Yeah.
of big beat music in this country,
I agree.
because Firestarter was on it,
Yep.
among other things. But I feel like there was a Wipeout XL was the gateway drug to electronic music for a lot of people,
I believe that.
Yeah.
myself included.
All right, we got 6 more games here.
Okay.
I've heard of 3 of these.
Populous.
Yes. Populous
Nice.
on the list.
So
The
they're
first
all
building game and one of the most successful games for the PC ever produced, according to this article.
Manic Miner,
No.
Jet Set Willy.
No. That's a good video game name, though. One of these is based off of famous car toys,
Car Toys.
Our toys?
I think.
Is it like Penny Racer? Like Penny Racers?
Micro
Micro
Machines.
Machines. Okay, yeah.
Right?
Codemasters did Micro Machines.
Those are
yeah.
toys, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
I remember the guy who talks
Yeah,
fast.
he talks fast. That
Yeah.
guy talks very fast. Okay, yeah.
You got a couple mid to late 80s titles left.
Mid to late 80s British video games.
And then one from 91. That is a famous puzzle game. And then
I'm going to
one
say they're
from
not going to
90
double up on developers, so Syndicate's probably not there.
No Syndicate.
Popular puzzle.
They're not going to double up developers, so probably not cannon fodder.
Then the one from 95 is a
That was
game
Wipeout.
Jan and I love. There's 2 from 95.
Oh, bugged them?
no.
No? Oh.
A series that we love. I don't know if we played much of the original, but we played it on UPF at least once.
What? What? I'm trying to glance at your laptop, and I can't.
Oh.
Oh. Huh.
So that's a hint.
95, you say, is the newest one?
Mm-hmm.
And that was Wipeout.
Here, I'll read the caption. Blank featured cartoon-style warfare. The series went on to become an international
Worms.
success story.
Worms.
Yep, there we
Yeah.
go. We got Worms. Here's one from
course.
91. This game came out in 1991 and became one of the best received games of the 90s. Its objective was to save blank and give skills to individuals to help their escape.
Abe's Odyssey.
Blank. No, that's not
No.
British. Save blank and give skills to what?
Individuals. That part's nonsense.
Okay. I don't know that one.
Lemmings.
Oh,
Lemmings,
Lemmings.
yes.
Two
You don't
more.
give. I get. Okay, yeah. I guess you did give skills to. You're right. That is what that is.
I've never heard of this game, but it went on to become one of the most successful British games of the era. The game's main character is an adventuring egg that runs and tumbles around
Chucky
a
egg.
fantasy world.
A Dizzy.
Yes, Dizzy.
Oh.
This game looks like garbage.
Should say Billy Hatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one.
You call the Dizzy games garbage too much. You're gonna start getting people
mail.
sending you. So, yeah,
I'm gonna
you-
get fuzzy.
You're gonna get a packet of poison quavers in the mail or something.
The last game was originally made for the BBC Micro and Acorn
Grandma's
Electron.
garden, Granny's
No.
garden.
It arguably changed the face of computer gaming. Using a tiny amount of memory, this was the first genuine 3D game where players navigated a spaceship.
Elite.
Yes. Elite.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which looks kind of cool.
yeah.
I don't know. For a game that came out in
for,
84.
Elite for when it came out and all that other stuff. Like I guess the NES version of Elite is actually quite good. Weirdly enough.
Yeah, those are stamps that are apparently available now. I'm seeing reports.
That's
on
cool.
Twitter. I had no idea a bunch of that, like Worms. I would have never guessed Worms came
Yeah,
out of
Team
the-
17. Yeah, they're
I didn't know that.
I mean, I feel like as someone who has played a lot of like there was an era of like a lot of British video games, that 16-bit era, a lot of that stuff came out of there. Like it definitely has a vibe where when I look at Worms, it couldn't have been made anywhere else.
If you would have told me Canadians made Worms, I'd be like, I believe that.
I could maybe believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can maybe believe that, but yeah, when I see Worms, that is a British ass video game for sure.
All right. Next email, subject line in all caps: "Ice is food." This comes from Rob.
Oh, ice is ice is food. What?
No. This
Yellow
comes from
cake?
Robson A. Seibel, I hope I pronounced that right, in Brazil. "Hello, bombers. During last week's Bombcast, somebody wrote asking whether water or ice is food. This reminds me back in college. I went with a couple of friends to buy ice in the supermarket, and upon arriving there, we found a big freezer with the words, 'Ice is food' written on it. The same words were written in big letters on the ice bags themselves. It was apparently the slogan of that ice brand.
Great.
We thought it was funny and became a joke with us that we still make to this day 10 years later. But imagine our surprise when we find out that brand of ice is one of the biggest in Brazil. And even though I don't know if they still put the words on the bags, they still have information that's saying ice is food on their website. And their justification is it's the same as water, and water contains important nutrients such as calcium and potassium. So eat your ice, I guess.
Eat
Cheers."
your ice.
Yeah, I'm looking at a consumer organization that is attempting to put logos on safe ice to make sure that it's not contaminated, which their definition of contaminated seems to mean any ice made by someone who's not a member of our organization. It's quite the racket. But they have ice is food on Twitter, I guess. So good on them.
Do they have ice is food on Twitter?
I don't know. That's if not, register that pretty fast.
Yeah, that's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to be on a list, go ahead. Next up.
I'm already. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm definitely on.
Yeah.
Hi all! With Game Pass becoming
Hello.
such a fantastic proposition so quickly, it really feels like Microsoft has changed the game in the subscription-based space. As a result, as the festive period came and went, I found myself looking at Steam, feeling like it was a bit of an old-fashioned model where you pay 50 euros, I'm from the UK, for a game you can have a year, for a game where you can have a year of games for the same cost. My question is around Valve and their response. Historically, they have been on the forefront of new business models for digital games, but we know that as a privately owned company with a number of cash cow franchises, they are not subject to quite the same market pressures, for example, as Microsoft. They have made moves to respond with EA games coming back and etc. But do you think anything more seismic will change in 2020 with Steam offering any kind of subscription model? Or is their store too crazy and diverse to even package something like that together? Cheers, Tim from the UK.
I think Steam will do something, but I think they will do a streaming service. I think they will do hey, you can play your games over a stream now. They've been doing the stream from anywhere, stream from home type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be shocked
the
to
co-op
see them,
with friends thing.
Yeah, to see them get into a hey, you already have the Steam library and now you can play it from anywhere on your phone. From our servers, not necessarily your own machine. I could see them doing that. A subscription-based service. Anything's possible, right? I mean, all that is hey, let's do a business deal and figure it out and pay developers to come in or leave and leave the program as they see fit. There's no reason why they couldn't do it. It's just a matter of is it worth their while?
Totally.
To do it, and that probably depends on how successful Microsoft is with Game Pass on PC. If that starts to pick up more and more steam,
it'll be epic.
We have fun here.
But I don't know what the origin of these rumors have been. Anyway, you play a lot of games on a lot of platforms.
These jokes are really scratching an itch.
Good old games.
Next email, subject line. Spotify is the #1 source of bad music, but please do not overlook Bandcamp for their crimes.
Oh, look.
Boy.
But the thing is that Bandcamp doesn't run on an algorithm that force feeds, that allows you to feed it into your... Yeah, no, there's a lot of... I mean, yes, there's... Okay, go on. Is there something more to that email?
Yes, it's just an image. It's of Santa Claus hitting a jewel, and it says, "Oh, come all ye vapeful."
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Santa Claus's hit song, "Where's My Jewel?" That's
it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Bandcamp, anyone can sign up for a Bandcamp. I could sign up for Bandcamp. I could put out music tomorrow. Let's put out music tomorrow.
Yeah, all right. That's where our video game raps are going to go.
Okay, all right, yeah, no, that's after show coming up. Yeah, Spotify is full of bad music as well.
Next up, we got an email here. It says, "Hey, Bombcast. Today I saw some kids drawing a cool S at a restaurant, and it made me wonder if there's a bunch of kids out there right now claiming that their friend invented it. So I guess my question is, what video game lies do you think kids make up to impress their friends in 2020? Thanks, Emily from San Diego."
Oh, 100% that their cousin or their family member is a pro streamer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I feel like it's harder to come up with those sorts of lies now because kids can just have their phone and Google shit.
Right.
Like back in the day when, my friend was like, "You can catch a blue Pikachu in Pokemon if you walk to this tree and then."
But there's got to
go
be.
into the
I feel
bed."
like Fortnite has the
Exactly,
matches are so
yeah.
ephemeral that I feel like especially younger kids that are going to be more easily duped.
Yeah.
There's got to be just so many kids that, especially with everything that Fortnite does on its own, that's weird. You could be like, "Well, I opened this up and there was a black hole and it sucked me into the black hole and I got 1,000 V-Bucks and that's how I bought this skin." When really they just got their mom's credit card or something. Or yeah, there's got to be.
Somebody invented a dance in their family, and it's in the game now.
Yeah,
My Uncle
or that,
Millie invented
yeah.
a dance.
What's it called? Foxtrot. Pretty good. Or I wonder, there could be also stuff like, "Hey, I beat Ninja."
Oh yeah.
Like, "Hey, I took some rounds off Daigo."
Yeah.
I took some, we weren't streaming, but
Yeah. He must have not been.
It
was his day off.
Yeah.
He was playing for fun.
Yeah, I'm sure he does that.
That's probably a big one. Or just I heard my uncle works at Epic, and he told me they're gonna get rid of the goo. What's it called? Goo-gurt? Slurp juice.
What?
Yeah,
They're gonna get rid of slurp juice and add a double slurp juice.
Double slurp juice. It's gonna be crazy.
Not a good lie.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. People saying they know what's gonna happen next season or whatever. Though a lot of that stuff gets data mined and whatever. But yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are like, well, season 11 is gonna be this. Remember, there's a guy that told me that Street Fighter 3 was gonna have a cowboy in it. This was before. This was just after Champion Edition had come out and Hyper Fighting had not yet. And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, they're working on
a cowboy."
There's like a cowboy.
Makes sense. You'd have like a lasso.
Sure.
Yeah.
You could tie you up with.
Yeah.
Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
There was
fuck somebody up, Spurs.
Yeah. There was no cowboy.
There's no cowboy. When they and also they didn't. There was no Street Fighter 3 for
Right.
a zillion years after that. But yeah.
I was trying to figure out if there's ever been a cowboy in a fighting game.
Oh yeah.
Googling fighting game cowboy does not yield.
Cracker Jack had a good cowboy outfit.
Okay.
Yeah, but
C-Jack.
is C-Jack a cowboy?
I don't know.
Or is he just wearing a cowboy hat?
Doesn't he also have the chaps?
I guess so.
I think so.
He never read as a cowboy to me, though.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
seemed
dressed
like an
in a
Aussie
Western
something.
sort of way, but not.
And he had a bat, not a lasso.
Yeah,
Isn't one of
You need
the
a lasso, I
Rakuga
think,
kids
to
a
be
cowboy?
probably.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Speaking of fighting games, this comes in from Daniel in SoCal, who says, "Hey Bombers, I was recently watching Ralph Breaks the Internet, and they brought up a question I cannot stop thinking about. Does Zangief wax? He's perfectly hairless everywhere except his chest and by his feet. Does he naturally have perfect hair, or does he have the most rigorous self-care?" I think Guile proves that to be a top-level fighter, you need to have the patience and the dedication to keeping your body a temple, right? And that involves
hygiene, of course, is a part of that.
Grooming. I think there's nothing.
Swimmers shave off you don't want to have a lot of areas that people could grab onto the hair.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Especially when he's grabbing you, you don't want to give him anything that you can grab onto.
Yeah, and you don't want to be too slippery either, like a Hakan,
Right.
Because you can just slip right out.
Right.
So you need a little bit of traction.
Yeah,
right?
especially because that's where you're putting their face.
Exactly.
Just get a mouthful of.
Yeah. No, he's perfectly cured. Like he knows exactly what he's doing.
He's also pretty scarred up from fighting those bears.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like that'll probably make it harder
To grow hair there, that's true.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But yeah, those chest zigzags and I suppose calf zigzags. Yeah, you got to work at that.
Yeah, you got to be
doesn't come
careful.
naturally.
Yeah.
And then while we're on the topic of Street Fighter, this isn't so much a question as it is an interesting fact that I would have never guessed. This comes in from Ben in New York. Just wanted to put another twist into the narrative of Capcom's plans for Street Fighter. This is a minor, inconsequential spoiler for the new Jumanji movie. But apparently, the main character teaches Danny DeVito how to play Street Fighter V at the end of the movie. As a movie themed after video game tropes, of course there had to be a video game cameo somewhere, but it's a little weird that they picked a fighting game when the movie itself is closer to an action-adventure game. Apparently someone at Capcom still cares enough about Street Fighter V to write that into product placements?
I guess so. Like, why wouldn't they want to?
Yeah,
what a weird.
But also maybe
That is
maybe they specifically wanted that
Yeah.
game or a fighting game, and that when they were producing the movie, that would have been the fighting game to get.
Exactly.
Especially for Jumanji, assuming it's not an R-rated movie, they probably would go like, well, we can't have Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Can you think of any other really random seeming video game cameos in movies?
There's the Doom arcade machine in Grosse Pointe Blank.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
That's a good one.
Doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
There's of course Breaking Bad has a couple. It has the light gun rage, but then it also has several scenes where Jesse plays Sonic All-Stars Racing
Yeah.
at his lowest point when he's like drugged out of his mind in like
that's
season 4.
definitely-
He's playing
Of
Sonic,
course.
and he just has this moment of like self-reflection of just like, oh man, I really don't want to be here. And he's playing fucking Sonic.
No,
Racing.
absolutely, of course. Why would you want to? Yeah, that's the dividing line right there. Either you're okay sitting there playing that game, or you're gonna turn your life around.
Do we need to?
And play Mario Kart.
Yeah,
Do we need to have an intervention with Vinny? Do you think he's okay?
Vinny's definitely not
I think
okay.
he's just learned to live with it
Yeah.
and accepted it.
Yeah.
All right. Sean from Portland says, last week somebody called in asking what you would teach in a video games 101 class, and it got me thinking of awesome director's commentary mode in Portal. Are there any other games that have cool guided commentary modes like this? What games do you think should have some form of director's commentary to play through?
I think that stuff in Portal is really neat. I think that's there are different games. That's a game where you can stop, right, and engage with that commentary at the right time in the right place. In a game that's more action packed or something like that, that's just not going to be an option.
Something like The Witness would be really fun too.
Right. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be really fun.
Well,
but you could do it.
Yeah, I was thinking
that parts of The Witness that you'd be like,
Witness.
oh, that'd be I would like to know more about this.
Or like Braid, even. Any of those like games that seemed like they took a really long time to make. Like, because those are going to have the most interesting stories about development and stuff. And just honestly, I would love a director's commentary walkthrough of Duke Nukem Forever. Stuff like that, of just like games that are like pieces of history, not for the right reasons.
Right. Yeah. But that's like, that's a documentary that doesn't need to exist in the game. That doesn't need to be. I don't necessarily need to hear.
True. That's a good point.
Like the people who made the awful levels of Duke Nukem Forever talk about the levels and how they were made. It's more just like the larger story of it.
Yeah.
This is probably the thing there. But in terms of just like, hey, here's details about this game and how it was made and all that other stuff, like, I don't know. Like I was gonna say like Bionic Commando Rearmed might be kind of neat.
Okay.
For whatever reason. They're just like, hey, here's but again, that's stuff that like if you just had screenshots of just like here's what the old game looked like, here's what we were trying to do. Like I don't know that stuff needs to exist in game either. So maybe even the Portal stuff. Well, Portal, you've got individual puzzles, right? And there's something to say about each of those puzzles. So
Obra Dinn.
Yeah,
that's a game where you're literally like pausing and walking around and looking at stuff, and so like, and Lucas Pope, did not everything, but music, code, like he could talk about
stopping and going like, hey, I wanted this character to be this way for this reason.
Yeah,
that would be interesting. Yeah.
All right, moving on to the subject, everyone's favorite, Anthem. Brooks in El Paso writes in and says, "Hello. Anthem is $12 right now on the PSN sale, so I decided to buy it instead of eating out a couple times this week. I don't expect it to be good, but I, A, need to know if it's really as bad as I have heard, and B, view it as a low-cost investment if BioWare really is committing to turning its game around. Thank you for your public discussion of my life choice." I think that's an interesting point of like, with all the Anthem Next rumors or whatever.
There's never been a better time to buy it. Yeah, no, because the Anthem, there were like $4 copies of Anthem at some point.
And like you have to, I think we kind of, when that story broke, when they were like, we're really doing it.
Yeah.
Or well, they didn't say it, but it was that, Kotaku article, I think, talking about an Anthem Next. Kind of our conclusion was like, it has to be free, right? It has to be like a free update for everyone.
Yeah, they certainly wouldn't charge people for it. I look at some point your money is yours, and I can only say so much about how you should spend it or what is worth your time / money.
Right.
I think that Anthem is not worth playing all the way through to completion for the reasons of like, I think the story is pretty bad. I think the mission design is a really slog. There's just a lot of stuff about it that really wears out its welcome, but that flight stuff is like kind of cool to see. Totally. And I could see like for $4, you could play through an hour of that game and go, they had an idea here. And then maybe just stop and know that like, well, unfortunately,
I could like this maybe
unfortunately,
one day.
There's some issues. And then, maybe if they do make it good, maybe you dust it back off. But
this is also provided, if you can log in or not.
is that still an issue?
The last time that I tried to boot it up.
Cool.
Yeah, that was an issue.
Okay, so let me ask you this: would you rather buy Anthem, or would you rather recommend people buy Anthem or 1.5 Taco Bell meals?
It's pretty interchangeable. It's not.
What's in the meal?
Anthem is food.
Well, I'm saying like, like your favorite combo meal from Taco Bell plus like one other item, like another premium add-on item, like a crunch wrap or something.
Double deckers. I don't know, man.
They still got those Frito burritos.
Yeah.
They still have
those are only $1. That's pretty
You don't
good.
need the double when you have a cheesy gordita crunch, which is just scientifically better.
All right, listen.
Top to bottom.
I went to Taco Bell last night.
Okay.
When I pulled up to the drive-thru, they had a sign up that said, "We are out of hard shell tacos."
What?
Cheesy gordita crunches.
No.
Sure, that it has a hard shell in there.
And chalupas. Was the third
How
thing.
do you operate?
Well, you get 2 crunch wraps. Oh no! Well, does that?
No, they did not have
No.
crunch wraps. They also yes, that was the other thing. Is that no crunch wraps.
What are you eating? A fucking Mexican pizza at that point?
I got
Quesadilla.
I got 3 of the Frito burritos.
Yeah, and like maybe like a potato grilled stuff.
Or you get soft tacos all day long.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the number of things they were out of just seemed. Like,
So
how does this happen? Did a truck
Right.
must have broken down somewhere?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Or like somebody came in and ordered just a shit ton of.
I wonder.
Yeah, just like cleaned them out.
That can happen.
Yeah.
All right, I got a long one. It's about Sonic.
Oh boy.
Bombcast crew, after listening to episode 614 where you discussed the story of Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, I had to write in to share my knowledge with you that I have retained from middle school when I was really into the Sonic the Hedgehog comic book series.
Was this just me? Did I send this in?
This is from
Timestamp.
Wazinator.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
going to say, has
Okay.
this person been kicked out of a GameStop?
In the episode, Jeff mentions that, quote, Eggman isn't human, which was meant as a joke, but is actually 100% correct. For you see, Dr. Robotnik and Dr. Eggman are not the same character.
What?
I apologize if this is lengthy, but it is a wild ride.
All right,
In the
hang on.
comics,
Everybody.
Okay,
Hold on.
everyone settle, strap in.
Buckle up.
In the comics,
Okay.
Dr. Robotnik straight up gets murdered by his nephew with a device that can erase matter from existence after Robotnik loses a fight where he was trying to use that device on Sonic and friends. In a parallel universe, which they call zones, events have played out almost exactly the same way for Dr. Robotnik, except before the fight, he roboticizes himself, becoming Robo-Robotnik to try to gain an edge, and when defeated, he uploads his digital mind to a
That's-
half-finished space station before
was
his
my
body
question.
is
Okay.
destroyed.
I'm sorry, a digital mind to a half-finished space station?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was going to go in the Robotnik.
Well, Robo-Robotnik uploaded his brain to the cloud before he
Right.
blew up.
Okay.
Another character comes along and goes into the past in the Prime Zone that's
Past.
with the human. That's with the human Robotnik to get Robotnik and bring him to the other zone's future space station housing Robo-Robotnik's mind to finish building the station. During this, Robotnik tells him if things don't go well in Robo-Robotnik's zone, he can come chill with him in his zone. After the space station is completed, Robotnik gets transferred back to the Prime Zone and events play out as previously said. But in the other zone, Robo-Robotnik creates himself a new body and after this decides to nuke the capital of the planet, killing his universe's Sonic,
Jesus.
Sonic's wife, their 2 children, and the rest of the freedom fighters.
Wait,
This is Nino Cooney too.
who's Sonic's wife?
Sally, of course.
Oh, okay.
At which point, he gets bored and learns that Robotnik
Sally?
is dead, so he's going to go there to finish the fight. He shows up and basically
finish the
fucks
fight.
with everyone secretly from the satellites for a while before finally revealing himself and making them believe he was the original all along.
God damn.
But once again, his
Devious.
body is destroyed when the space station blows up. But because now he is a digital consciousness, he builds himself a new body, it's kind of like a Brainiac situation, where one is shown a new body. Sorry, this is a little messed up sentence. Where the one is shown at the bottom that's used in the games and rebrands himself as Dr. Eggman. So the Dr. Eggman that we know
Yeah,
is a
it's-
robot body created by
Dr.
an alternate
Robotnik from an
universe's
alternate universe.
AI brain that lives in a satellite in space.
There was originally an alternate dimension Dr. Robotnik.
That was human but roboticized himself. And that is how the writers found a way to make Sega happy and rename the character from Robotnik to Eggman by making him an unkillable digital god over the course of several comics. Regards, Wazinator, and they've cited all their sources.
Oh, good. Okay,
thank
good.
I was going to ask if they did.
Here's a source for you. Those comics aren't canon. Come on. stop being crazy.
I think they are. I think unless
why not?
they come out and say it like Star Wars style.
Right.
None of that happened in the games. The games are what's real. There's that dolphin.
I don't even know if the game is Sonic Spinball canon.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Some say it's
That's
the
a-
linchpin that holds the cannon together.
It's the one.
That and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
You don't see that machine in any. Well, I guess you see it in Sonic Generations.
Mania.
Hero Mania.
Yeah.
I
The
don't
actual
remember
Mean
that.
Bean Machine.
Well, you get
Yeah.
sucked into it.
Nice. Oh, that's right.
Which probably doesn't make much sense outside of the U.S. or in Japan, I guess, because that was just a
Yeah. That was
Puyo
just
Puyo game there.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
I had to Google this because the name Sally and in relation to Sonic reminded me of something, and then it's the same character. But I remember going over to a friend's house.
Is it the human lady he
No,
kissed
no.
in the video game? Because that's his real wife.
Sally Acorn. I remember going to a friend's house, and there was just a small port. He had like a bunch of
And
posters
your
on
friend
his wall.
was dressed up as Sally Acorn?
No,
And you had to make
no.
some decisions?
No,
Okay. All right.
Well,
Sorry. Okay.
it never got that far. But I
Okay.
remember he had like a bunch of posters everywhere, a lot of like comic book clippings, and then just like one by one portion of his wall
Mhm.
just had like a small collage of Sally Acorn. And I just always thought it was weird. He was never
It
really
is.
into Sonic. He was like more of a Nintendo guy growing up.
Huh.
But he just had that small collage of Sally the Acorn, and I just never bothered to ask.
You
So-
shouldn't. Yeah.
yeah.
That's private.
Yeah, I don't want to.
All right. I'm gonna Bing Sally Acorn. Oh, sorry. Princess Sally Acorn.
That's right.
Oh, does that make Sonic
Royalty.
a prince?
Pre-Super Genesis wave. All right. I can't look at any more of that.
Gross.
Oh boy.
All right, we got an email from Rob from
I
Kalamazoo,
don't
Michigan.
feel so good.
Greetings, gents. I finally sat down and played all the way through the original arcade version of Golden Axe and was shocked
Cool.
to see the bizarre and genuinely funny ending of the game. If you don't know about it, after you defeat Death Adder and save the kingdom, the game cuts to a couple of kids playing Great Axe in an arcade.
Right.
Then all the characters and monsters from the game explode out of the arcade machine and run out to wreak havoc on the city with a Hikari sweat billboard in the background. The three heroes fall,
Delicious.
and the three heroes follow. It was completely unexpected and made me wonder what other weird and funny arcade games have cool endings out there. And then some other questions about the Golden Axe game for PS3.
which is not terrible.
All right, that was
played,
the question.
I played through that, and it's kind of bad. It's
I was gonna
kind of
say,
bad.
I remember being bad, but
It's
I
kind of
don't-
bad. They had some neat systems in there that I don't think were like utilized fully, but there's some okay stuff in there.
Not a lot of arcade games
Have
end.
endings. Yeah.
At least like older ones.
there was kind of
Once
an
you get to
era
that,
where like, because like Final Fight and
Golden
like
Axe.
beat 'em ups and stuff like that certainly would generally end.
There's like a cool parry system and shit. Like Combat felt okay. Beast Rider. Right?
Rider.
Rode on beasts.
Yeah, I don't know. There's, like I'm trying to remember the ending of the Simpsons game. I'm trying to remember if it was any good.
Homer
'Cause
goes
it seems like that would be
dope.
one.
You fight
that might,
Mr.
Oh,
Burns.
okay. Okay, got it. Yeah.
And he's in like a atomic powered robot suit.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that was like that game was at Scandia, local
Yeah.
arcade,
Yeah,
and I remember one day we were just like, all right, we'll pay fucking $20 if we have to beat this game. It costs about $20.
There's like stuff like if you're playing 2-player Double Dragon and you beat it, it would make you fight each
Fight
other,
each other,
to see
yeah.
who actually
Like
won.
Dynamite
that was
Cop.
kind of cool. Yeah.
That does that.
Uh,
Remember when we
that's
played
a
through
good-
Dynamite Cop?
that was a good
fun.
game.
yeah.
That's cool.
Machine Gun Willie.
Well, write in with your
Motherfucker.
favorite
Yeah.
arcade game endings.
Yeah, I wonder what the end of like Time Crisis is like, because it starts pretty zany.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like it's all just kind of like that. It's that tone the whole way through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If I had to, I know I've finished most of those games, but
Mhm.
I couldn't tell you a damn
House
thing
of
about
the-
them at this point.
Dead. Keeps jumping into my head. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, that
Damn it.
story is just ridiculous.
To begin with,
Like
right?
just every piece
Suffer
of voice
like
acting.
G
and-
did.
yeah, all that stuff with G.
All right. Next email. What's next for Ubisoft? Annecy? Is that how you pronounce that? Annecy? Annecy.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say it's Annecy.
That's not okay. Yeah.
Annecy?
No, it's
Annecy.
Anyway, yeah. It's a place.
Ubisoft Annecy.
Ubisoft Annecy has typically been an auxiliary studio for Ubisoft, providing support for most of their games like Assassin's Creed, Ghost Recon, and The Division. However, they were allowed to finally do their own thing and made Steep. Being a huge skier and winter sports fan, this was quite the pleasant surprise to come out of Ubisoft of all places for me. The game wasn't a huge success, however. This game wasn't a huge success. However, it didn't seem like it was a complete failure either. That leads me to ask, do you think we will ever see another passion project from them? Steep 2? Steeper? Some other kind of game? Thanks, Colin from Milwaukee.
Steep, and then they supported Steep for a very long time.
Yeah.
They may still be supporting Steep, actually.
A lot of people, there's a lot of Steep defenders out there.
Yeah. That game pops up on like
bunch of steepers,
a bunch of random GIFs every now and then.
It just showed up on some, I don't know if it was Humble Bundle or where. It was free somewhere, like very recently.
Okay.
I bought
PS
it and I did
Plus?
the tutorial and I was like, this seems kind of neat if I wanted to just like chill out and look at some cool mountains.
I love the chill out and look at cool mountains.
Mountains, I have the game for you.
No, you don't.
Stranded.
No, you definitely don't. I don't know. Ubisoft is such a strangely organized company in terms of like who does what and when. So many different studios pitch in on those games, and like, yeah, maybe there's another period where like, oh, because of the way things worked out, we have a lull for one studio right here, giving them the time to do a thing, and maybe something like that would happen. But I could also, if I don't know how Steep has worked out for them. I mean, I know that they've kept supporting it, but I don't know if that's necessarily a thing where they might make a Steep 2 someday or not. But
Getting steeper.
Yeah. I don't know. It's unknowable because Ubisoft is structured so fluidly is maybe not the word, but yeah, there's just so many different teams pitch in on games over time and get handed off a game for a live game or or whatever, right? It's just they support those games a long time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We will see.
Speaking of unknowable, our next email is from Matthew, who says, "Hey guys, I don't recall any recent number stations talk on the Bombcast. I was wondering if Jeff still checks in on the buzzer and how he feels about new Russian number stations opening up in the past year, like Vega 33.
I feel bad about it, honestly.
Number station seems to be back in vogue. The site above tracks them all, and it seems like there's a couple of new ones each year over the past few years. What does it mean?"
Nothing good. Nothing good, that's for sure. Yes. I feel like a couple of months ago I was like going, I wonder if there are any number stations broadcasting right now, and it was close enough to usually it'll be around the top of the hour. Some number station somewhere in some part of the world will broadcast numbers.
Okay.
Spy numbers. So this is specifically Black Ops 1 is like the numbers mason. Like that stuff is rooted in but not necessarily identical to the concept of number stations. And what this is like, let's say you're a spy behind enemy's lines. Sure. You need to receive a message so you know what day you need to go murder a motherfucker.
Got you. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. I know this stuff. This stuff is still in operation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And new ones popping up.
Wow.
Regular 2 in 2020 already.
Oh geez. So yes, shortwave radio broadcasts that are ostensibly meant to be received by spies.
They did that in the Stranger Things.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So that stuff's been around since the Cold War and kind of never fully went away. There was a case where there was a number station broadcasting out of Cuba into Florida, and a lot of people got busted around that stuff, like because they broadcast using the same cipher like twice or three times or whatever. Yeah, so they were able to decode it and bust them, I guess. But yeah, it's meant to be like a single use cipher, so you only every day it's a different thing, and that makes it more or less impossible to decode it. Yeah. So
okay, I'm on the same page now.
Yeah.
I got you.
The buzzer is different because it's just a buzzing noise. There's no numbers. But
does it like alternate frequency or anything? Or?
It has like it is the same tone generally. It has changed a little bit over the years, and there have been times where like it sounded like the buzzer was just a microphone pointed at a thing because you would hear other people in the room speaking Russian and stuff like that. And there's just the history of the buzzer is very bizarre. Love me a nice number station. I bought a shortwave radio and picked up a number station that was broadcasting out of Cuba from here in California.
Nice.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
This next email has some mature content. I just want to say that before we get into it.
Is there more Sonic
More
stuff?
Sonic stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Actually,
Oh.
if at any point 2 out of 3 of you tell me to stop, I'm going to stop reading this email.
Okay.
The subject line
Stop.
of this. Really?
That's one.
Oh,
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Fine, now all 3 of you have to say it. The subject line of this email is echidna penis facts.
Oh, okay.
Go on.
Body of email. In case you ever wanted to be an echidna fan, here are some facts I learned about their penises. I learned this in college in a comparative anatomy class.
Mm-hmm.
Fact 1. Echidna penises have 4 heads.
Like
That's one more than John Cena.
Legend of the Overfiend.
Fact 2. They can only maintain an erection in 2 heads at a time.
Same.
Yeah.
Fact 3. When not in use, their penis retracts into their cloaca.
Where else would it go?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Fact 4.
keep it secret, keep it safe.
Their penises are covered in spines.
Mm.
I am
Checks out.
sorry. Max from Boston. We made it through the whole email.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
Stop.
Damn it. Shit.
So there you go. We had some questions. I remember that this probably was.
We had some
we
echidna
had
penis
some-
questions, and
Yeah.
finally we're able to.
When?
We were
I
talking
don't
about
re-
Sonic. It was a whole
What?
year ago.
Oh, okay. It was last year. Sure.
Oh, right.
Now that's a Chaos Emerald. I don't know.
No.
All right.
Let me show you my
Sweet chili dog. No.
Green Hill Zone. I couldn't remember
Mm.
many of the. I remembered Casino Zone and Green Hill Zone.
Sure. Like what?
And neither of those
Starlight
really-
Zone. That's probably
Jan,
real.
what's like a good
I
innuendo zone? You
There's
can-
too
Machine
many in
Head
my-
Zone.
Machine Zone.
Machine Zone.
I guess.
Casino Night Zone.
3D. I'll show you
Marble.
my mean bean machine. Next email. If Giant Bomb had a theme camp at Burning Man, what would it be? Graham from Scotland. I'm sure I pronounced that right. Graham.
Graham.
So like, I'm friends with a lot of burners.
Word.
And
Phones?
it's always stuff like, I had friends who like they ran a tabletop camp, and you like come and like play an hour-long tabletop adventure with
That
them.
sounds
or,
terrible.
Like,
In the sand?
in the
Yeah.
sand, in the sun, on drugs, or like this is like the hookah zone, or this is just
Yeah,
the.
Sonic the
Green
Hedgehog.
Hills
hookah
Most of
zone,
them are
yeah.
just like fuck palaces.
Okay.
Sure,
Um,
yeah.
But
Cool.
you know, if we could bring our unique services to Burning Man,
Some people I knew a guy who was part of a community, and I didn't really know the other people involved, but they did a thing where they built like a hillbilly shack when they had what they would call hyper whiskey, and then they built an audio tour for the shack so they could give out headphones to people and we'll have them walk through and
Plug
see
in
the,
and-
effectively an art installation.
Yeah.
And that always sounded fun. I still have the audio of the tour around somewhere. But
What would we do?
we would want to provide something that really freaks people out, freaks their bean, so to speak. I
Yeah.
think, like, because you're going to be dealing with well-to-do, drugged out
Right.
people, so you're going to want to really get them wild. So I think like maybe
I would want
some
something
sort
that
of,
appeals to the people that are not the well-to-do. Like there's
Oh, yeah, well,
there's like an old
might as
school
not go.
Burning Man. Is it still there? Is it
Probably,
still
yeah.
there?
Oh, yeah. They're still there.
like I have a
Yeah.
professor who's gone every
Yeah,
year
that
to
left.
do photography for them, but like even when I had this class 6 years ago.
Mhm.
He was saying at that point it was still getting rare to like find people who weren't
Yeah,
just like tech assholes.
yeah.
Like me. Just like me.
I'm interactive. You know what I would do? This isn't related to Giant Bomb, but like one of those Halloween things where it's like you're touching eyeballs and this is
Oh,
brains, but it's
yeah.
actually
Fuck.
spaghetti.
Oh no.
But like really like high budget versions of that.
Right. Okay.
where it's like all synthetic stuff that you can eat, but also feels like other things.
That seems like that'd be good. Oh yeah, I'm trying to think like what would be fun for people high on drugs to do.
Lots of
Touch
colors,
stuff.
touching things, sitting down.
Yeah.
One of those like 3D immersive domes. That
Yeah.
You see at like E3.
Oh right.
That'd be
Yeah.
fucking
Okay.
rad.
My friends who ran the tabletop thing built a hexa-yurt.
Heck, I
to
have
run
no
it.
idea what that is.
You know what a yurt is?
No, you're
Yep.
you're a yurt.
I feel like I should know, and at one point
It's like a
know,
hard tent, kind
Okay.
of, right?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Hard tent.
six-sided.
Oh, okay.
Was it
Hexa
hard
yurt.
to select the game, like knowing that like okay, people coming through may be wrecked? Was it hard to select which games to bring?
Well, it was like a they designed their own
Okay.
kind of like very short playable
Yeah, okay.
thing where it
Yeah.
was like you have a couple choices and they are
Yeah.
like the other characters in it.
Huh.
All right.
Just have a couch.
That was the old
some
dream was like, and I think someone did this was like it was a couch that they put wheels on, so it was like they were driving a couch around the
Oh,
desert.
Okay.
And like basically took a go-kart motor, like or multiple go-kart motors or whatever to get it to go, but basically just put a couch on wheels and put a motor in it and drove it around.
There's a big warehouse over by where I live, and that's where they keep like a bunch of like these huge vehicles that they bring to like Burning Man. So
Right,
like this
yeah,
like
yeah.
double-decker bus with this huge fucking skull on it. We'll see driving around the fucking neighborhood every once in a while. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I might know those people.
Yeah. Yeah, you were showed up over
Department
there.
is that the no, it's probably different people. Anyway,
Anyway.
Every no, it's just raining emails.
yeah.
I don't know how it would work. It's just
Mhm.
raining emails.
Okay.
What if it was
They
raining
have to answer that.
emails?
Digital rain.
Oh shit.
Yeah. You don't want it to rain B-mails. Next email. B-mail. I'm 42, and I have
Congrats.
always enjoyed playing multiplayer games like Call of Duty and Halo.
Sure.
But recently, when I put on my brand new reading glasses to go play some Apex Legends, I feel positively elderly and outclassed by the youthful reflexes of my opponents. My
Same.
question is, if a multiplayer game offered matchmaking by age, would you use it? James from Chicago. I really like
would
the
need
idea of like, no, this is the boomer lobby. You
Yeah.
gotta like,
Ideally, skill-based matchmaking makes that work, right?
Right.
I mean, by both a different skew.
Mhm.
I think age-based matchmaking, you would take. Well, it wouldn't work the way you think it would, but like, I was about to say, maybe you get better voice chat.
yeah,
If you're.
Oh yeah.
Oh, totally.
But no, like there are plenty of people that are fucking old motherfuckers my age or older that fucking suck shit.
sure.
And you would not want to talk to them. So I don't know that that's a purely effective filter.
I just like the
I feel like some of the most toxic conversations I've seen lately on Discord have been from people who were there on the internet in the 90s too.
Okay.
And it's like some of them are people I've known for a very long time. It's fucking gross. Gross.
yeah.
Kind of with you.
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that age based is.
I think it'd be funny if there was like, some sort of, you had to like put a drop of blood into something to prove
Yeah.
you're a certain age. And then like the idea of people trying to spoof it, like, 18-year-olds like going to their grandpa's retirement home and like taking some, like pricking it, bringing it back so they could just go on like multi-kill rampages.
Well, like BBSs used to voice verify users when you called them.
Really?
If you wanted full access, like
Yeah.
the good boards that
Yeah,
had
yeah.
good stuff on them,
Huh.
they would voice verify to make sure you were an adult or
Adult.
not a fuck up or
Yeah.
whatever. Like the guy that was running it would call you and be like, "Hey, are you a fuck up or a cop?" And you'd be like,
No.
No, sir.
No,
Yeah, I was fucking 13.
I'm a
I was
baby.
12, 13 at the time. Yeah.
I'm not a constable.
Yeah. No,
I'm a child.
I'm definitely ready to look at I'm definitely ready for full access to all your image boards. Let me in, man. Let's check this stuff out. See what you got, pal.
All right. Two more B-mails.
B-mails.
You're editing out every time I accidentally
Oh,
say
yeah,
email,
100%,
right? Okay,
yeah.
cool. All right. With Fast and Furious only getting bigger and classic Universal monsters, trademark, struggling to gain an audience. Which class of monster will the Fast and Furious crew eventually run into, and who will play them? Dalton from Pittsburgh.
So this is like a
So you've got Mummy, Frankenstein,
Wolfman, creatures,
Swampo.
The Invisible Man.
Swampo. God damn it!
I was gonna say the Scorpion King.
I don't think he's a classic
He's not.
universal
No,
monster.
Tied to the Mummy.
Also, The Rock.
I know.
You can't.
Why not?
I guess you could do like a.
It worked for Gemini Man.
Yeah, that's the movie. I saw that movie and I couldn't
Did you
remember
see it
the
at
name
60
of it.
frames per
Yes.
second? It's cool, right?
Yeah, the fire looks so fucking cool.
People are wrong.
I mean, it's a bad movie,
you know what?
but it looked cool as hell.
You know what? Video games are good.
Yeah.
And when video games are good, they run at 60 frames a second or better.
Ang Lee is a visionary. I would like to see.
Looks like a soap opera. Go fuck yourself.
I feel like Fast and Furious the one area they really haven't gone hard on, because it started with cars, and then they started like throwing planes into the mix. There
Yeah.
hasn't been a lot of boat action in the Fast and Furious movies.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
they
has
ended
some-
on a boat.
Yeah, there's some boat there.
There is like a little
Yeah.
boat, but like not a
little boat.
I'm talking like, okay, Fast and Furious set in Florida with a bunch of fan boats and shit, like a Miami. Is it Miami Vice? Is that what I'm
Yeah,
thinking of? The
that's- yeah,
fan boats.
CSI.
Yeah, and like CSI stuff, and then the Swampo shows up.
God damn it!
But you got to get someone real like grimy to play Swampo, and I can't think of who's our most seafaring actor.
Oliver Pratt. Pratt.
Who can? Oh, you know who would be a good Frankenstein is Adam Driver. I like him. I think he's a great actor.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, I think it's the best part of that new Star Wars movie.
Dr. Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster? Which?
Well, it's the monster.
Because I think he could be a doctor type.
Oh, jeez.
He's too tall to be Dr.
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
he's too tall.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, he's a.
I have not
He's like
seen. The only.
He looks like this.
Okay, I've only seen the GIF of him looking like a barrel
Yeah.
from one of the Star Wars is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know.
Um,
Did you see that Star Wars? Was it good?
It was I.
No.
It was.
I enjoyed parts of it.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they played it too safe.
That
It's
sounds
just
like,
like-
I feel like that's the
And
the thing of just like, hey, they really set the stage for some fascinating shit, but boy,
and they like ran into Carrie Fisher dying.
yeah.
Between the second and third movie, it was like a big bummer for them because they set her up to be like the general and like in charge of the whole alliance, and like they had a couple of scenes with her, but it was like it reminded me of like the Sopranos when they had to like CG his mom after she died.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I will say the best part of that is frickin' Timur from GameSpot putting in my head Babu Frick, but to the tune of Baby Shark.
Babu
Frick,
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 Frick. Yeah, Babu Frick's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a frick freak. Somebody DM'd
You're a
me.
fricker?
Somebody DM'd me asking if I was a frick freak.
Are
Well.
you? Well.
Yes,
Did you just respond yes?
I did.
Okay.
Oh no, excuse me. I responded Babu, which is how he talks.
Okay.
He says like Babu. He's this little guy.
Okay.
He's like this
all right.
big. And,
Oh, all right.
and he's like a little mechanic guy.
Huh.
And he says
He
Babu.
fixed pod racers?
He like messes with C-3PO.
Okay.
Someone should.
That doesn't sound good.
Actually, the C-3PO stuff might be the best part of the movie.
Okay.
Until they turn.
Until they
yeah.
like do what they did with everything in that movie where nothing matters. All right.
It's like Mortal Kombat 11.
Well, that's good. The
11 is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say nothing matters at the end of that. Like they wipe it away. I just think,
Right.
Okay. All right.
The way they did that, I
Mhm.
would have enjoyed if they did that in
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah, because they at least
Whoa.
like kind of have
It creates a blank slate.
I
to
think the
move
Fast and
forward.
the Furious could use more submarines.
Oh yeah.
I think like stuff in general, we could use like a little more submarine action.
it's hard to get a good sense of speed in a sub.
What if
though.
they had a prototype speed submarine though?
Speed sub.
Because it could surface and be like, oh shit, it's
It could
hauling
just, like,
ass.
launch
launches out of the water.
and
and
then
yeah.
like flies
And then they all get
into
out.
the Kremlin or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yes, exactly. That fucking flies out of the water into the Kremlin, which is now right by the ocean because of global warming, and just fucking crashes into it, and then they all get out. And
the
they're all
mummy's
wearing night
there.
vision goggles because they're fighting Dracula.
And Dracula is played
lives
by
in, Vladimir Putin. Well, he's at the Kremlin. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Ben, now that you said Adam Driver would be perfect for Fast and the Furious, I just thought about his name.
Yeah, he's driving and stuff.
I hate it.
Yeah, maybe.
How many movies do you think they are away from getting into mechs?
Shit, man.
Shit, yeah.
Like not even like full
boy.
like what's the movie?
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, not Pacific Rim style, but like exoskeleton mechs.
Like Avatar.
Yeah. Or Alien.
I feel like exoskeleton, like functional fucking forklift mechs.
Yeah.
Like one movie.
Well, I mean,
one or two,
Hobbs
one to
and
two
Shaw,
movies.
he
Like,
has like a
yeah.
kind of,
If you, I would,
but I want like a
right. No, I'm saying
janky
like,
looking one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get. But who I want to see? I want to see the two guys pilot the mechs. The two guys who like speak in Spanish.
Don Omar
Yes,
and
the other
guy. Yeah.
Because like they're like cracking wise in
that'd
these
be-
big,
yeah.
and
they
like,
could be
can't
punching
control
each other.
them
Yeah,
that
all right,
well
that's wacky
and
fun.
Stuff.
Yeah, you definitely are like fucking. Hey, we gotta steal a bank vault again, but this time we're using mechs, and we don't even know how to make this thing work. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna end things on a slightly somber note. This email comes in from Helen C. And says, "Hi, Giant Bomb. Maybe this goes without saying, but if you're recording the podcast tomorrow, I think the Australian listeners suffering the effects of the bushfire might really appreciate a shout out. We've lost a massive amount of homes, and there have been several deaths and a massive loss of wildlife. I know disasters like this happen all around the world all the time. My thoughts are also with the flooding victims in Jakarta, but it's obvious from the email section that there are quite a few of us Australians that are listeners. I'm not personally affected. The capital cities aren't copying it except for Canberra, which is choking in smoke, but the southeast of NSW and Victoria is pretty fucked. Thanks for keeping up the great effort, Helen." And like, yeah,
It's fucking scary, and I think the scary thing for me was how long this has been going on without getting mainstream news coverage to the way, like, it was like shocking to see, like, wait.
It's like I heard there were fires in Australia, but I didn't realize the magnitude of it.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Half 500 million animals have died already. I think I saw.
Koalas are close to possible extinction because of this.
Jesus.
God damn it, they're cute.
Like not this last fire that we had here, but the one before. I think it was the one before that.
Tubbs
Camp.
Yeah, the Tubbs. Yes.
Yeah.
There were firefighters from Australia coming to fight that fire.
Oh wow.
And it's just unbelievable that that's still going on, and just some of the stuff around it about like guy taking a vacation in the middle of it, like all this other stuff. Just like fucking God. Yeah. I hope that I hope people stay safe and do what you can to protect yourself and all that stuff. That's
Go adopt a koala.
scary as hell.
And if you're in a position to help in any way, like even it's so small scale, but like when my house burned down, like people just reaching out and like, we have blankets, we have like stuff. Do you need any of this? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I'm not
if you
prepared.
can't
I don't
give
know.
money,
I don't
like-
know what if there are organizations out there looking for goods and as well as money. Like I don't know, but that's
yeah.
yeah.
If there's any way you can help, try and help.
Even spreading awareness always helps.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like I didn't want to speak for all of Giant Bomb by saying but I figured, we were
In case some of us are pro fire.
Yeah.
or anti-Australia.
Okay, all right, yeah.
If you adopt a koala, you don't get to keep it. It's just
They keep it
You get a
there.
certificate?
House a
Right.
Send you
koala
pics.
temporarily, yeah.
right.
Oh, okay, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Some Sally Struthers business.
Yeah.
I learned about a charity where you can adopt rats that are trained to deactivate landmines in
I need
like the
some of
Soviet
those.
ex-Soviet countries,
Huh.
because they're so light that they don't set them off, but they
Right,
train them
yeah.
to like sniff them out and mark them.
Hmm.
That's
pretty,
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It's a good use for a rat.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's better than what I've been doing to rats when I find them around my neck of the woods. I am the landmine, and they're not diffusing it. You know what I'm saying?
They're crawling over you
Yeah.
and marking you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a mess. It's a goddamn mess. All right, that's gonna be it for us here around Giant Bombcast headquarters. Thanks everybody for listening. And thanks for supporting the show, all the other stuff. And we'll be back next week with more. We got an after show. If you are watching live, we will be back in this room for an after show momentarily. Otherwise, that's on the internet. You can find it. It's called Giant Bombcast Aftermath. You can go listen. It goes up on Wednesdays.
It's on Spotify.
It's on Spotify.
Damn.
If for some reason you're listening to this in whatever podcast app you're like listening to,
You're like, I don't want to listen to it here. I listen to my good podcasts here. Spotify, that's a great place to listen to garbage. So stay tuned for that. Thanks everybody for listening. We're back in the office doing our thing, getting the year together. Lots of meetings and looking at each other, going like, let's get some shit going. So we'll be getting that going, and take care out there. Be careful out there too. God, it's scary.
It is.
Netflix's Behind the Scenes podcast is back, and this season they're giving us an exclusive look at The Witcher, a new Netflix original series based on Andrew Sapkowski's best-selling books. Subscribe now to find out how the writers, cast, and crew took almost 3,000 pages of original material and brought a fantastical world to life. New episodes of Behind the Scenes premiere January 8th, with new episodes weekly. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, or wherever else you listen to podcasts.